Hello, everyone. We are back again. Episode of Go Critique. We're doing animus this time. It's
Hey.
animu week. Well, it's going to be animu 2 weeks because we're doing seasonal.
Yeah, seasonal afterwards. Because time flies when the Christian holidays come by and everybody has to go to family things.
Time flies. Oh wow! I brought up my anime schedule. Speaking of which, since we'll anime later. Apparently, no demons next week. No demons. No demons.
Is it because I thought it was like a two-core thing?
Apparently no demons because next week's broadcast will be episode 1 with cast commentary.
Oh, that's kind of fun actually.
It's kind of I don't know if that's gonna get localized. I guess I don't know if that's gonna get translated, but I mean, it'd be kind of cool if it was. I'd be down for subtitle listening to that. That sounds kind of good.
By the way, Neretsu, I've usually I don't bother looking at next seasons, but this time I have been because I want my gambling anime. I want my stock market anime.
You are so hyped.
I am so hyped.
The hypest show of 2026.
And it still doesn't have an official starting date. It has to be like winter by now.
Winter we're in summer. Date. We're in summer right now.
So yeah, summer starts next week, the week after.
Yeah.
So but it isn't announced for summer, obviously. It might come in fall, but if I'm just looking at the fall page in general, there are a bunch of shows and FX.
Oh yeah, it's looking fucking packed. It's
so it could be
good.
in winter, but winter also starts in January sometimes, so it's a bit.
It's gonna take a minute.
So who knows? Maybe it will come with fall. Maybe it will just barely make a winter.
We'll talk about it more next week because it's looking like there's some pretty big hitters next season coming around, so it's going to be pretty good. But most of the animes will be wrapped up come next week. Most things are on episodes at 11s and 12s. I'm pretty sure. I think the only ones that we will have to probably do catch up on. I'm trying to look. Go to today.
Well, it would be Needy Girl because the last episode came out 2 hours ago or something.
Oh, Needy's got 13. Needy's got 13.
Okay.
What is it? It's the 21st, so the 20. Apparently, Yaba Sensei has 12 next week. Digimon's still going because that's like 50,
Witch Hat still has like a 13th episode, so that's next week.
Dr. Stone is a 13th as well. Warrior Princess is 12, so that ends next week. So there's a couple of like holdover. There's a couple of holdovers that we'll be getting into, but it'll be should be
right. Just for funsies. Oh, sorry. I have the window open.
The footballs are happening over in Dutchland right now.
Well, in America land, but people are watching.
But it's very look. Even my old pa's big on the. Big on the soccers. So
still for Netherlands, or it has his allegiance switched.
He's standing the homeland. Don't
congratulate him on the win. 4-1, 5-1 to 1-5-1 for Sweden.
Ass, apparently
20 minutes ago or something.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah, they
kicked
ass. It was very good, very good.
But yeah, I have the window open because it's warm, so you might hear some plane or car sounds every now and again.
You might hear some planes, cars, maybe a little bit of rioting,
fireworks. Although that should be over because the game was over, like I said, 20 minutes ago, 30.
Yeah, nah. But anyway, but yeah. So there's a few things that'll be carrying over allegedly. So yeah, we'll see how it goes out. But other than that, yeah, I've just been knee deep in the Skyrim mines, working on little fixing the issues that pop up here and there. Oh no, crash to desktop. Oh, what does the crash log say? It's a bunch of bullshit. Who right? Oh, the game completely froze and seized up. No crash log for that kind of crash. So, oh boy, gotta figure. I think I did narrow that one down though. I think it was I was hitting my like VRAM limit. I think was what was going on with that because I'm learning a lot through Community Shaders Performance tab. Community Shaders has a really good like robust performance metric thing that you can activate in game that shows you everything from it even shows you the fake frames if you're using frame gen. It's very
Ooh.
cool. It like will tell you, okay, your game is rendering at like 50 to 60 FPS and it's outputting like 90 to 120, right? And you get to see pre-gen and post-gen. It's but part of that is the VRAM, and the 1080 Ti has 11 gigs of VRAM,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously 1 gig of that is reserved for Windows because Windows usually reserves about a gig of VRAM for itself to be able
Yeah.
to do what it needs to do. But I noticed that it'll allocate, like when the VRAM usage is low, it'll allocate 10 gigs, but then as it starts to ramp up, the allocation gets lower. It's kind of weird. So when you get to like 8 gigs, it only allocates like 9.5. So I'm wondering if it's like an allocation issue that causes the freezing sometimes, like if there's like a sudden jump in usage.
Mm.
So it could either be like a Skyrim engine thing that I'm going to have to go in and have a look into, or it's going to be a um fuck around with like something else. But I haven't had the freeze in a while, right? So this is what I have to deal with, Ellie. This is what I'm trying to figure out. I haven't had that in a while since I knocked some graphic stuff down, lowered the texture resolution a little bit,
Mm.
turned off like screen space illumination, SGGI, shadow nonsense bullshit, right?
You know, so you're making me want to pick up my HTML coding thing again. Because I finished all the HTML stuff, right? I can HTML a site.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all covered. But CSS, that's a whole different
Mm.
game. You know, another layer on top of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
started
Yeah.
it. I kind of ran into.
Making it look nice, right? Making it look nice with
I
your
kind of ran into the issue
CSS.
that the book kind of just assumes that you have a website to
Yeah.
experiment with. Oh yeah, just
Well,
upload this to your
make a
website.
website then. Just make a website.
Oh, you have a server, right? You have a site you
Yeah, yeah.
can mess with,
You
right?
have a server. Look, you could host your own website on like an old laptop. Just like an old laptop
Yeah,
and
but the
plug
book
that
never
fucker
said,
in.
"All right, here's how you host your website." It just says, "So now go
Ah.
to your website and upload it." Oh, dude, I don't have that.
Oh man.
But anyway, no. Other than that, not other than that, I've not been doing that. I've been playing with Xenoblade X again, Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yes, big Xenoblade.
It's like the biggest single Xenoblade map there is, and now last time I hit credits where the Wii U ended, and then there was there was a funny cutscene moment where, all right, oh, her model looks a little bit iffy in this cutscene. That's a shame.
Mm,
And then next
mm.
scene, oh, why her model suddenly looks way better. I'm guessing I'm into new content now.
Upscale. They tune up those upscale textures. Get that get that
Yeah.
shit going. Oh
Now one
man.
is a cutscene and one is that the model is now in the game. So they couldn't have like, and they updated all the models, but not the cutscenes, of course. So now
Mm.
they had a model for the cutscene. All right, don't cutscenes too much work. But now they have to have a model for when you are running around in the game. So upgrade the model. See, this model is for running around in the game. No, that was
You gotta make
funny.
them look good. Gotta make them look good.
Yeah, and I did, and then I did a million side quests because there's so many side quests in that game. It's ridiculous. and I did almost all of them anyway. But I hit like the first mission, and the first mission ends with so I mentioned that this has like the biggest map of the whole of the Xenoblade. And then they decided to just go, hey, look at this massive spaceship. It's the entire length. It's the entire diagonal length of the map.
Mm.
And, you know, you have like you have a mech that can transform into a plane, and it still like takes like 5 minutes to go from edge to edge. And then it's just a continent-wide ship goes, hey, look who's here. Deal with
Look
it.
who's here. Big ass ship time.
Yeah. It was kind of funny. You know, Xenoblade is about big, you know, the big Bionis and the Mechonis in Xenoblade 1, the Titans in Xenoblade 2, a whole big environment in 3.
And then the new one, it's going to be
a big
Hollow Earth theory.
A big Hollow Earth, because you can see the whole map from every part of the game.
Yeah.
And
it's Hollow Earth theory time, boys.
And not to be outdone, Xenoblade X had the largest map because it's all like just one single flat map. There's no zones in between them. And not to to just outdo itself, they went, all right, and now it's a ship that is bigger than any landmass in it. Cool. You know, in the end, it does just fly above the map, right? It's not traversable or anything. It's just a kind of a flex from, haha, we are Xenoblade. You thought we do big? Look how big this is.
Yeah.
A slightly more fun way of the GTA. Oh, look how big the map is this time. Or, you know, the Far Cry map. You know, just the pointless look at how big our map is stuff.
Yeah, we are big map time.
Yeah, Romario, did you play the definitive edition of X? I kind of do recommend it because I did see like I said it last time. How the Wii U ending is just, oh no, game over, game ends.
Oh no, rip.
Cliffhanger, and then never a sequel added anything, and now it goes on. Oh no, we have to do something about this. And all right, so that helps a lot. I understand why people were disappointed that Xenoblade X didn't get a sequel, but now Definitive Edition exists, so that's all good.
Yeah, and then they'll probably have like some weird reference in Origin or something. It'll turn out it'll all be, there'll be some like weird artifact that's found and it's all connected. It's all part of the same shared crazy timeline.
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, there's all right. Romario is here. He would know. Maybe in Xenoblade X, there's like the ancient Samars, and the Samars are probably have like elf ears. And now suddenly we have Xenoblade Genesis with people who have elf ears.
Yeah, it's a prequel.
So maybe it's like a prequel to like the universe of Xenoblade, and or it is a sequel to 3, which is on a different planet, and that kind of involves the whole perfect works about the timeline of Xenogears, Xenosaga.
It's all gonna be connected somehow.
Yeah, like I said last time, Takahashi,
something.
Takahashi, the creator of Xenogears, wanted to make a massive, sprawling mega story and never got around to it, but he just kept making the same story in different chapters and different points in time of his grand adventure. And the second chapter of that grand adventure is called Genesis. So this might be the second chapter, or just be a the prequel to X and the whole universe in that sense. But yeah, that's enough Xenoblade stuff.
Yeah, I guess it's time for anime type. I actually haven't even gotten in the watch together yet because
Oh.
Not been paying attention. Right, hang on, let me swap over here and get this up on my. I also got to go grab my drink, so I'll be right back.
Watch out, I'm going to talk about Fire Emblem now. Because Nintendo has been releasing like these 30-second clips of Fire Emblem battles. And there's surprisingly a lot of information to be gleaned out of it for Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. Like characters getting more crests that they didn't first had.
So this was. Oh, sorry.
Lida
Interrupting.
Lida does a critical hit with her bow, which makes her flip upside down, shooting an arrow, which is very similar to a certain boy on a cover of a game called Fire Emblem Three Houses, which famously had the archer guy upside down. And now we have this other character who shoots an arrow upside down, who carries a lot of the same symbolism, clothing, jewelry things on her person as the guy from Three Houses. So like I said in my ramblings talking about Fire Emblem last time, she's probably from the continent that is like 2 continents over, which is, interesting because the whole universe of Fire Emblem was like the Pope lady was definitely afraid of losing her family, so she mandated a religion that closed off the whole continent to outside influences, so she could keep everything the same and keep the last of her family safe. Because if there's no change, there's no threats and all that stuff, right? Big trauma. But it also meant we got very little about the world outside of the continent that we're on. So having characters from other continents is fun, and this whole game is on another continent to begin with.
Oh my god, world building!
Yay!
Big world
Fun.
building time. So anywho, this was a video sent to me by a mute, who I didn't pre-watch it. I don't know anything about it. All I know is they described it as coal. So I don't know what we're in for.
I didn't pre-watch this either. Sometimes I do, or oftentimes I do. This time I didn't. I just get massive boomer energy. Like, oh, why are these characters not? Why am I not relating to these characters or something? Watch better shows or something. Watch other shows.
Watch better shows. Watch better shows.
But that's my preconceived conceptions.
Okay, so I will. So why the 90s anime characters feel so real? Interesting title, as you were mentioning. Yeah, wondering if it's like relatability.
I mean, there are. Did I mention this when you first posted this video? Stuff like, I can think of a take like a reason why they feel more real. And that might be because the inspirations of the 90s animes may come from books, may come from Star Wars, may come from movies and actors and stories that are, real characters, I suppose.
Somewhat off topic before we start. I don't know if you've been seeing. People have rediscovered the original manga adaptation of Star Wars.
No.
And have been posting. I'll go. I think I was sending some to Full the other day. People have been like posting like shit from it, and it's like that shit's sauce, man. You gotta go look it up. The manga adaptation is like great. I can't remember who the artist was that did it. I think it's the same person that did Devilman, because it looks very Devilman-y. I'll put a thing in the. I don't. We have to bring it up on stream. People on Twitter have probably.
No, I didn't. I haven't seen it.
The fucking like manga adaptation from like the 80s is fucking crazy good. It looks so great.
Yeah.
Like goddamn.
But just to finish my thought, and is that the inspirations of the 90s animes may be, stuff like Star Wars or World War II movies, who knows? And the inspirations thereafter might be the database. So, kind of self-referential, and that might be the problem, maybe.
Well, let's find out.
A while, you'll see online discussions about Irene Sanders, a woman from the 90s anime Desert Rose. Everyone loves the design, but nobody can really pinpoint why.
So, hang on. One thing I love the whole wait.
Red arrows.
Yeah, red
Let's
arrows.
change that. Irene.
Oh my god. I don't know why the watch together really.
90s anime Desert Rose. Everyone loves the design, but nobody can really pinpoint why.
Yeah, look at there you go. Highlight.
I have no idea what he's
Character
talking about. Is
design
this
my
like
passion.
Is this a Twitter thing? I feel maybe.
I don't know.
A YouTube Shorts thing.
I haven't seen anyone talking about this character, to be honest. So I don't know what he's on about. I don't know.
I mean, she looks snarky.
I mean,
look, fun,
it's a good design, right? Like it's a good design. I'm not gonna say it's not. Like maybe he's referencing some Twitter beef he got into. I don't know. Let's find
why. Let's change that. Irene's design is very simple. The only thing that will ever change about her is her outfit. She is a counter-terrorist, but when she has weapons on her, she prefers to keep them hidden. No earrings, glasses, or even necklaces.
She's
even when the
wearing,
other cast
like eyeliner makeup.
What are we watching here? I'm starting
her
to see
eyelids are pink, are clearly more pink. She's wearing like a big, a fair amount of makeup. You cannot say she's unadorned or anything.
And she's like, it's like tomboy. What?
Femme fatale.
Femme fatale. Well, but man, probably more on the tomboy side. Like,
well, hidden
still
weapons
feminine,
on the skirts.
still feminine, but it's got a bit of that. Got a bit of that masculine. But anyways.
Members are adorned in such things. In terms of visual hierarchy, where do your eyes go first on this character? For me, and I think a lot of us, it would have to be the eyes. Yeah. Whereas most anime characters have large, always open eyes, these are noticeably more tired looking, more sleepy. These are easy to
Naretsu, this is your domain, artist man.
Yeah, this is my domain. This is why this was probably sent to me. Because this is fucking. This is some curtains is blue shit, man. Like if we go, okay. Oh, good. That I don't know if that's gonna jump to the correct spot. So this is like watching a fucking toddler trying to analyze this shit. I don't want to be mean. I'm trying not to be mean, but like it's boiling water, but it's in my domain now, right? Because like, yeah, no shit. Like, thing is, I wouldn't describe it as tired eyes though, because tired eyes usually involves. It's like you mentioned, she's got like the eyeliner on the top eyelid, right? She's not got baggy eyes or anything. Like, it's not really tired per se. I feel like he's kind of. I don't know if he's got a point about like the eyes being like square, right? Because they are following. It is following kind of the 5-point kind of rules. Man, I wish I could do the thing where I could draw on stream like you, because that makes this a lot easier.
I haven't turned that thing on in a while. I don't know if it works anymore.
Yeah, I would have to, if I had control over that, I could do some like fun shit with this and like kind of describe like what I like. It's easier to like just show what I'm talking about than to describe it, because what I'm talking about is how usually when you like, most eyes are made up of like several like points, right? Like there's like I can't remember how many lines it is, right? Because I haven't had to think about this in a while. But like
5?
you can draw you can draw an eye in a very simplistic manner by recognizing like the points of which. So like one would be like right in the corner, right? And then you'd have one point would be like at the top, and then a line across the top, and then another point on the other side, and then it goes down, and that kind of thing. So he's kind of getting to that, but his like red fucking like square that he's got here, is not great at illustrating what he's trying to talk about.
No,
like, I'm saying I could do this better.
just to give my non-artist but somewhat artist appreciative view is that she doesn't look much tired. She looks more, weighing conversation, cautious, more.
In this particular image, yeah.
If she's but characters that have like half open eyes most of the time are more. I feel more portrayed or have the feel of a observant character, that they are always kind of peering or looking at things, and just for something different, right? There's so many ways to have characters' eyes mean something. In the show that I'm watching right now, Ramparts of Ice, there's this character that her kind of defining feature is that she has big eyes, right? But very small pupils. And that makes her kind of either, look very critical most of the time. And she's quickly afraid, so small pupils, oh no, I'm scared. Yeah, kind of. And piercing eyes.
Something I also want to comment on is the fact that we're only like half a minute in, and this man is going at like 1,000,000 miles an hour. Like he is fucking blitzing shit, man. Like this is only a 7-minute video, and this guy is like fucking blazing. And that really doesn't help when you're trying to do like an analysis like this, right? You kind of need to go slow. Because I'm having trouble fucking explaining what I'm talking about.
But also,
imagine what it would be like if I was.
My problem from the start is from where, how, who, we, Desert Rose. All right.
Yeah, why are we talking like why not? Why this 90s anime character feels so real, right? And it's okay, all right, all right.
These are easy to draw. You do the two sides, the bottom of the eye, and then a very low eyelid. Makes a character instantly.
That is not what her eyes like. That is not at all correct.
Also, she does that's what he's drawing here implies like large eyes, large pupils, but she has small pupils.
That's not this. That's not what we have here.
She has small pupils.
I want to get like an image. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, I'm doing some get the bot. Get the bot. I'm fucking.
Alright, let's see.
I'm gonna show you how I would fucking do this. This is gonna look so fucking scuffed because I'm just gonna do it in the clip paint fucking thing. I'll use red because he used red, and then I'm gonna go. Hang on, I have to go.
Oh, that bot. I thought the other bot. My bot.
Yeah, no. Well, I can't fucking draw on the screen, can I? Right. So I'm trying to like
open up the OBS bot.
So if I was gonna do it, it would be like 1, and then 2. It's kind of hard when I'm using the mouse. If I have my drawing tablet open, it's easier. So it's like 3 point, 4 point. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 5, I would say, for the eye. Hang on, I gotta undo that one because that looks like shit. Because the problem is he's like using the whole like eye socket, right? And then when he draws his like you can kind of see it. I'll jump around a bit, right? Like he's drawing around the whole eye socket. He's not actually drawing the eye, right? And so he draws around the whole eye, and then he draws again, going back here.
And a very low eyelid makes a character.
That's not the shape of the eye though. That's the whole eye socket, right? The whole eye socket area is that shape, not just the eye, right? Like if I bring up, I might just change the color. See what I mean? There you go. I'll put the little dots there. Like if I was gonna do it, I would do it like something like this. Right, I've got the bot here. Here we go. Images for stream. There you go. Again, this looks really scuff. This looks really fucking scuff because I'm doing it with my fucking mouse. So, like, that's how I would do it. Is I would do it from the actual eye itself, right? You could technically like, but that's just because the eye is drawn in that particular way, right? If the eye was open, you would obviously do the lines from where the eyeliner is, right? Because you wouldn't see the eyelining if the eye was completely open, right? Because the eye's like half open, right? Like he didn't pick a
Alright,
very good
one sec. I'm going to be fancy myself, and I have to move this to the other screen.
It's all broken. It's all broken. No.
Alright, that is all right. Then I have to say to you, post session. Don't worry, it's all up for the people at home.
Oh boy.
Screen 4. Yeah.
He's trying to get his drawing thing set up. I'm going to teach Ellie how to draw live on stream. Oh.
There we go.
Oh boy.
Look at this.
Hey, Ellie can draw on the stream. Hey, look at that. Right, so back to the video, right? So yeah, if I was analyzing the eye, right, I wouldn't, you wouldn't actually like factor, like you could, if it depends on how like complicated you wanted to get the construction, right? Like you can factor in, the eye socket if you're getting into like really heavy like construction shit. But when you're just doing like a basic analysis of an anime eye, you really don't need like to do like the whole eye socket stuff. And his issue here is that he is like, again, he's taking the eye socket shape and then using that as the entire shape of the eye, and that's not really how I personally would go about doing that. And I think it's probably leading to like an incorrect conclusion, personally. But anywho, I guess let's just keep going with the train wreck and see what happens. What else is he gonna analyze here?
They instantly look sleepy. Happy, sleepy. Giving a warning, sleepy.
Again, I don't think she looked like. Does she look sleepy? I don't think she looks sleepy.
She looks more sly here, right?
Yeah.
I know what you did there. I know what's happening, or something.
Yeah, because sleepy is like, because like sleepy is like under eye bags, not like the eyeshadow, or the eye, whatever it's called, the makeup, right, on the fucking eyelid, right? Like it's not. That's not sleepy. a man has some problems with emotions, maybe. I don't know.
Thinking, sleepy, even embarrassed, sleepy. She looks rather unassuming, rather bored, but at the same time, you can also read something very different. Confidence. No matter what her situation is, she's confident. Confident. Confident.
Well, I agree with him. Yeah, that's smug.
Yeah.
Just got smug look, right?
But that's also like, her face, her smile, and whatnot, her pose.
So I just wanna point out, right? And I don't know if you want to draw on stream for this, right? But if you look at that, like, let's look at that eye on the right, right? You see, like, I would say, like, first point is like the left corner of the eye, and then goes across to the other corner, and then goes up to the point, and goes across, and then goes down, right? So it's not like what he did, where it's you're kind of getting it.
I'm just tracing, basically.
Yeah, you're just tracing it, but you see what I mean about, like, that's how I would do the shape. I wouldn't do the shape like he did, where it's like the square, right? You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't do it like that. I don't think that's the way to go about it. But anywho, let's get to it.
Eyes like this convey that she's not spending a lot of energy. She's relaxed. She's low-key. Whatever scenario she's in right now, it doesn't require a lot of thinking power for her.
So, another problem with this analysis is that you're analyzing a character that's in motion, right? Like, if you're analyzing like a single image, right? That's one thing, because you're analyzing a single point in time. This character is constantly changing emotions, right? She's not going to look exactly the same every single time you see her, right? And he's making these kind of like generalized assumptions, like statements about like the way the character looks, but she looks different in every single fucking frame, right? in a sense. If you get where
I
I'm
don't
coming
think
from
she
with
looks
this, right?
that different in every single frame.
Well,
She is like
not different, but it's like different emotions, right?
yeah.
Like
There
different things.
the moment
So you
when
can't be like, oh, she looks sleepy all the time, right? But she's not sleepy all the time. She doesn't look sleepy all the time, right? Because
in
she's in
these
different
scenes, right?
states.
In the scenes where she here is in like a maid or her maid job. Her eyes are small and black. There was this one moment where her friend, came up to her or something at the ice ring, I
I don't
believe.
know.
Her eyes were bigger and they had like a blue iris, and she looks like kind of happy, surprised or something. And her eyes were bigger and slightly, maybe even slightly more open. Does that mean something? Does it mean there's a good friend that she's even more relaxed because her eyes are bigger?
My point here is that like I feel like he's analyzing individual images and not like necessarily like analyzing like the animation as a whole, right? Which I think again it's leading to like weird conclusions.
Looks totally at home in her combat gear. I mean, if you open her eyes and change the mouth a little bit, it's a completely different emotion. She's out of control.
Yeah. If you,
she looks very surprised.
Yeah, Ellie. If I edit the intended expression on the character, they'll have a different expression. Who would who would have fucking guessed? If you fucking edit the expression. Yeah, you do it. Showcase it for it. Look, completely different change of expression. Fucking. Oh man.
Editing
Bro,
above our own editing.
Bro, what are we doing?
Well, in panic, the sleepy eyes just bring in that confidence.
Again, she doesn't look sleepy. Does she look sleepy? Am I
crazy?
Am I fucking crazy? She does not look sleepy.
She's sly. She knows something. She knows something.
Smug as shit. She doesn't look like she's about to pass out, right? Like, she doesn't look sleepy at all. Again, you need under eye bags, man. Under eye bags.
She's relaxed. She's got this. Throughout the show, the hair doesn't change either. It's very round, which is kind of rare for anime hair in the 90s. We'd be used to totally spiky stuff.
No.
on female characters.
Yeah, what do we mean?
I mean, all the Sailor Moon characters had like all these bobby hairs.
Yeah, what do we? It will be interesting if he shows a different character on screen. We can compare and contrast. But anyway.
But I find that works well. The shape language helps soften things. Nice smooth lines. Calm and relaxed. Calm and relaxed. A military outfit is full of sharp corners here. Pockets and running lines. Irene's calm. She's got this. We're under control. It's kind of poofy. It's kind of aloof. It's kind of all over the place. Sure, that's the hairstyle of the time, but also you can...
Not really. No.
I mean, messy, voluminous hair was the hairstyle of the time. That is true.
Yeah, but her hair's not. Her hair doesn't look like what. No.
I mean, I think it's maybe close enough. It's
maybe,
not like,
but I don't.
It's not that they're going to curl up every single hair.
I think I think it's also going to be bad that he's not actually talking about the structure, because when we talk, with hair structure, and this is something that I've struggled with in doing my own art, right, is that you want to break hair into parts, right? So you would have kind of.
I'm going to do the same thing. Look at this part, and then this part.
No. What I mean by this is, and I'm using my my one, and I'll send you the picture. Is you want to kind of think about it as like separate chunks, right? So you have like the front chunk, and then you have like the side chunks, and then you have like the back chunks, right? You don't really see like the back chunks.
So you mean this and this the front, and this is back?
Oh wait, I gotta wait for the stream to update. Yeah, kind of like that. My one's coming out a little bit better, so I'll send you my one. kind of get what I'm saying here. Like you typically have things like what you have to like differentiate. Like, go that in the chat. Here you go. Because you have to differentiate, like, and it also depends on like what angle you're looking at, like what parts are visible at what time. So like you don't see a lot of like the back here, right? There you go. You'll have to make the image bigger so you can see.
Yeah, it was getting in the way of my drawings for a minute.
So you break it down into like easy to manage. Like, okay, this like where is the hair coming from, right? Like the front chunk. You notice that even though like the front sort of intersects with that side here, you can easily break that front chunk on the forehead into just that big shape, right? And then the side here is obviously like two kind of like poofs coming out the back of the front chunk, right? Yeah, and the flow. Yeah. You see, Ellie's smart. He knows what he's doing. He's getting there. We'll get there. We're learning today. It's good. So like, yeah, and you can like do that with like most hairstyles in anime. Like, if you pay attention, you can sort of see, oh yeah, okay, that's where the hair's coming from, and that's the chunks, right?
This is only one shape that's coming from just the top. There's no behind on the real person.
Yeah. I only added like the separate color for like those two on the bottom to like say like you could assume that that's like the back, right? Because it's the back, right? You could assume you could technically like tie that into the side here, but it depends on the angle, right? It depends on the angle and what you're actually visible to see.
It really, the hair does for you feels like it's a kind of a 1, 2, 2, 3 behind the other.
Yeah. But he's not talking about that though, which is kind of weird. Like if I was analyzing this, I would talk about that, right? About how and the way that it's drawn, right, is what creates that poofiness, right? Because of the fact that it's these sort of circular kind of tubes that are kind of layered on top of each other that actually, like, even though the shading doesn't really necessarily convey it, it conveys like a level of depth, right? Like you look at her front on like this and you can feel kind of like
the shading. This is all brightly colored.
The darkness. Yeah, because it's shaded, right? Like you can kind of feel like it's a three-dimensional.
And then here is all darker shade.
Yeah,
light is coming from this direction, kind of.
Yeah, it's coming from like the top kind of leftish, right, sort of side. Yeah, and you can see the three-dimensionality, right? And yeah, it creates the illusion, I guess, of three-dimensionality because that's sort of what you're going for. You're trying to convince the viewer that the 2D like picture is a three-dimensional object, right? It's kind of how like you're tricking the brain to fucking. But anyway, let's keep it.
You could interpret it as being more of a unkempt, just billowing appearance. Here's a character that's calm while being messy. And that brings us to the main idea with Irene, the 90s visual theme of messy realism. Irene's design
the messy realism.
Right next to her is the most straight hair you've ever seen.
Yeah, the most
round hair you've ever seen, with the most straight hair you've ever seen.
Totally spiky, right?
This hair goes here and then straight down.
You also got like the different like eye types too, right? Like you've got very slant, small eyes on the kind of tall girl, the long, very long fucking face, by the way, very long styled face. And then you have the kind of Chinese looking girl who's got like the big, she's even got like the little stars, Ellie. She's got the stars in the fucking eyes going on down there. Yeah, very square, right? Like very much. Like again, if he was wanting to describe the square eye style, that's exactly what she's got, right? She's got the square eyes, right? Like and you could very clearly see like those corner points, right, on that one, right? If you break it down, like, see, you've done it on stream, right? You've broken it down into kind of what I'm talking about. But anyhow,
it's not perfect. Skulls, relatively messy hair. She's basically fallen asleep right here. Nothing about her is really polished or idyllic.
She is looking at you like she's annoyed at you. Why is she so focused on being sleepy?
Yeah, he's very like honed in on that autistic. Because like he is showing like some shots where she's like tired, like she yawned in that shot that he just showed, but she's not like that all the time, right? At least from what I'm gathering.
I wish there's
again,
one of the things he earlier, right? I said she has blonde eyes, but where's that shot? Because she has apparently,
yeah,
but it's just not shown right
I
here.
guess I don't
Also,
know.
this Chinese girl suddenly have like way smaller eyes.
Yeah, it's almost like the style is like changing based on like the emotions in the animation, right? Like
Oh,
it's
no.
almost like analyzing single frames out of the animation is maybe not a good way to kind of analyze what's going on here.
And anime look a lot differently now. Let's contrast this with the anime girls of today.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. This will be good.
Look at here. Look at this character. She is like
Look at this completely different art style from a completely different artist.
Hey, look, here's a character with maybe a big eye, but here's her eyebrow, and this is the gap between her eye and eyebrow, which to me implies that if she would open her eyes fully, it would be this size. I'm going to draw it a square to annoy you.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and this is the eyebrow.
Simplify. Yeah.
So she has constantly like half opened eyes.
She's
right?
so sleepy. She's so sleepy, Ellie. She's so sleepy. Oh my.
These four girls just recoil. These are also agents that use guns. But the gap between these designs is 25 years.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What are we doing, Ellie? What are we doing here? This is like, again, completely different like
vibes,
lineage,
genre.
Yeah, completely different lineages here, right? Like we're not even in the same like ballpark. And I can understand, like it can be fun to compare and contrast visual styles, right? Like that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. That's not why I'm reacting like this. I'm reacting like this because he's like seeming to make this weird distinction. Like I don't know if it's gonna end up being like, oh, 90s good, modernity bad, or whatever, right? Like or something. I don't know where he's going, but that's what I'm feeling, right? And that's why I'm reacting like that.
I had some hope that it was about, character motivations, character.
No, you're getting an art school lesson today, Ellie. That's what's happening.
Art school is all fine and good, but I was thinking about that it was the over reliance on the database, that characters are not made as people, but as individual parts assimilated to fit the author's needs to appeal to the audience.
Shit. Yeah, you're gonna learn about visual shit today. That's what's
I'm not, apparently.
Standards may have changed. What we get here, it's not even close. Because people still don't look like this. Nice bright smiles, cute little pointed nose, wide open beating eyes. The hair is very sleek and polished. 2 perfect remaining strands of long hair. Nice uniform,
what was that thing of the previous girl over there? The big woman with the long face and the most straight hair you've ever seen. With 2 hime cut strands
also. Also cell shading from the 90s. Again, completely different. Like it's almost like a different fucking medium, because everything in Locoyus is like computer, right? Like it's all digital, right? It's not like they're not drawing on literal fucking cells, right? It's very different because it's almost like different mediums have different like visual like styles, right? In a sense. Another thing I find interesting is he's, again, to point out the whole like composition of hair, right? You can kind of see it in this hairstyle, right, where you have like the bangs in the front, like you can clearly see like the sides and the fronts, right? And like the ponytail, and how that's like you could classify that entire section as separate to the front bangs, right? So it's almost like 2 separate areas.
She actually has 2 ponytails. Here's the second one. This is the front one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you can see it in the yeah. It's hard to tell with the shading.
Yeah, I mean you should have if you've watched the show, you know that's
yeah. If you watch the show, you know. Yeah. Are the character designs of Lycoris Regal really any different from Gunsmith Cats or the 90s? I would argue they are different, right? Because again, the style has changed over time. Like, there's like been massive debates about the moeification of anime, right? Like a lot of the time you see these arguments from like old hats, right? Where they'll talk about how moe made everything fucking like blob and whatever and stuff, right?
But Gun Cats grew up like mostly short hair and then with these wavy gaps in it, right? I remember that being one of the characters at least.
So I don't know where he's kind of going with this comparison here, right? Again, like, is he going to make like a 90s better, like modernity bad argument? Because there's nothing really wrong with the Lycoris Recoil girls, like design wise, right? They're all very distinct. They all have their own like identities within
You got
like,
a
the visual style.
red character, you got a blue character, there's a yellow character and a green character, and a purple character, basically, all color coordinated. One is this, one the other is that, the other is computer, the other is complaining, the other is a mentor.
Yeah. So I don't know what our man's cooking. I don't know what he's cooking.
Everything tied down into a nice flowing line of motion. Up here it's messy to be sure, but it's very well done. Not a stray hair in sight. We do get these two back here, but wait, it's not a stray hair, it's just being bent over with a lovely little bow. We do have two down here with this character, but if I'm reading them correctly, this is supposed to be the unkempt one of the bunch. This is modern ugliness.
Modern. Bro, just saying words, man. Like she's not meant to be ugly. I don't think. What do you mean?
She's not even unkempt. At most she's a little bit lazy, but she's also just a computer person.
Yeah, it's like nerd.
Alright, she's going to brush her hair, put a headband on, and not style it any further than that.
Yeah.
Ugly characters don't. Their characters are perfect in every frame, with the blushes.
Yeah, in
Mate,
the 90s
you're looking at promotional art.
Yeah, man. Again, it's almost like, remember what I was saying about like the difference of like analyzing an image versus an animation, right? I'm sure if you watched Lycoris Recoil frame by frame, you could find frames that make the characters look ugly. Have you ever seen people who like get really autistic about smear frames and stuff?
Oh,
right?
yeah,
and
smear frames are bad animation.
You see that on Twitter. Some like not these days, but like a few years ago, there were these really autistic people that would find like a weird. Oh, look, I found like this one frame where the character is off model for like 1.2 nano frame seconds. Bad animation, so terrible, horrific, evil, bad, right? And you this is kind of what this sort of feels like, where he's taking like, again, promotional images that are obviously designed to make the characters look pretty, right? Like they are made
or just
to
interesting in
advertise
general.
the show. Yeah, like they're made to advertise the show, make the characters look appealing to potential watchers of the show. Yeah, no shit, they look pretty. No shit, bro. What are we doing?
Oh no,
here?
but
Like,
the yellow girl is ugly. She has like two strands of hair.
No, what did he say? He said it's like modern ugliness or something, right? Like he used like a really weird term to describe it.
A lack of blemishes, even when they're fighting in an act.
Oh, here we go. Now we're seeing some fucking anime stuff, right?
They're doing so in such a nice, perfect, stylized way. Nobody will remember these characters in a few years.
Yeah,
No one will remember these characters in a few years. Hideo Kajin would like to have a word with.
Oh yeah, he said he watched the show or whatever, right?
Have you? I gotta find like the. I'll put it. I'll actually find it. It's the fucking funny ass.
I have never heard of Desert Rose. I've heard of people talking about ancient 80s anime, but never Desert Rose. I've watched Licorice Recoil, so that's the
I
recency
know
buff.
I've seen this character before, but I've not like the character he's talking about, the blonde girl. I've seen her like posted on like nostalgia anime fucking shit or whatever. But I've never seen like I've not watched it, and I didn't even know what it was called. Right? I'm trying to find like the picture. Oh yeah, this one. I found it. Hang on. God damn it! I gotta try and get like I want to get like a high quality version of this fucking picture. Oh, this one might be better. This one might be better if I can get it. Web page will not show image anonymously. Fuck you. Fucking some. Oh, it's some Spanish fucking website. Like I just googled like Hideo Kojima Licorice Recoil, and it's like some Spaniard fucking shit. I'm not gonna
By the
open
way,
that link.
if Gouda or anybody else knows, do you know something about the Lilybell work? Was the novel released? Was there an anime coming? Something like that? Because I know I believe there was at least a Lilybell novel planned, but I don't know
Here you
if it
go, get
ever happened.
Here you go. I've got a couple of pretty good ones here. There you go. Here you go, Kajim Bob and his
Let me
Licorice
refresh.
Recoil. I don't know. I think that's the guy that plays Heartman. I think in Death Stranding. It's the guy that plays Heartman. Yeah, they're just in New York, chilling with the matching.
There's Takina and
Licorice.
Chisato.
Yeah, he's just chilling. he's just chilling. I think this one's the better one where they're like in a bookstore. Yeah, yeah. This one's a good one. They're in the bookstore.
Refresh. Where's the button to refresh? There.
Go. Look at him.
What is he at? Like
bros.
Umezaki? Yeah, it's Umezaki.
I think
okay.
I think it's a yeah.
Pretty sure no, it's just Roy. It isn't Umezaki. Anyway.
Yeah,
no, that's
it's the same. He's just chill. Look at him. They're living their best life, man. And again, it's like, what does he mean? Like, people won't remember this, like these characters in like a few years. When, like, again, we didn't even. I didn't know who the fuck this girl was. I've seen the gif of her, like, I don't know, tossing a grenade through a door or some shit. I didn't fucking know who the fuck it was. Yeah, like I didn't fucking know who it was.
It's a good show. I do recommend it.
Well, not Licorice. I'm talking about the 90s show that he's talking. Yeah, I know what Licorice. I watched a bit of it, right? I know what's going on. But I was talking more about the 90s because like there's like a gif of like the girl like tossing a grenade through like a door or some shit, and that's the one that gets like posted like on Twitter all the time, right? So like again, I'm aware of it, but it's like in terms of like memorability, right? It's kind of like it's a weird argument. It's a weird argument, and I'm not sure why he's being so kind of dismissive on Licorice, right? Here, it seems kind of silly to me. But in here, let's see what he's gonna say.
They are too perfect. Official. They were made in a lab.
What? What the fuck is he on about? Oh yeah, Ellie, like the generic like 90s anime cell shaded fucking like look like.
Oh, put the Chinese girl in. Put the
put the Chinese girl in. Bring back the girl that has like the face that looks like fucking Count Dooku from the Clone Wars TV show, right?
I mean, the Chinese girl was such a thing that Dragon Ball has like 3 of them, I think, and this show has one of them. I mean, Lovina like puts one in.
He's very much doing a fucking modernity bad fucking shit right now, which is just like
even when the Chinese one was a meme onto itself, basically a trope.
Yeah,
a TV trope,
you might say. If he thinks that Licorice Recoil, right, is like grown in a lab. This man hasn't fucking seen like most isekai adaptations because that
he wants
to
complain about that.
Like that is some shit where you could argue it's grown in a lab because some of those do have very similar visual aesthetics, right? Like, let's be perfectly fucking real here. Just oh god, this is Cole. This is fucking Cole, man.
Idina was made from the soul. This could be a real person you and I see on the street, especially in the
really now. Like, we gotta stop. We gotta get. We're halfway through the video, but like I'm fucking dying, man. This man is fucking crazy. What are we doing here?
80s, 90s, right, with this awesome hairdo. She's got blemishes. She actually has a bottom lip. None of that here.
So, okay. So if you put freckles on like the Lakoya's Recoil girls, Ellie, would that make them better? Would that make
but what? There are plenty of characters that have like small blemishes and whatever. Not that it is going to mean anything if I do that's kind of too long. If I put blemishes on them, what is it going to change?
What is it? Yeah, like what? Like, look, man, I love my freckled girls too as much as anyone. Right? I understand the appeal, my man. I understand. I get it. I think it's good, but it's like nah. It's like, what do you? Yeah, this just feels like a old thing good, new thing bad argument right now. He's devolved, right? He's devolved into fucking nonsense.
Idina has this mega sniffer right here. Actually, peanuts.
No, they stole the noses. Ellie, the Moe stole. They stole the nose. They stole the nose.
What am I going to
So fucking dumb.
Modern anime is very clean cut, very minimalistic, easy to read, easy to get into, but honestly devoid of character unless they are willingly, intentionally created to be so, through the use of scars or other imperfections.
Yeah, put on Soul Eater.
What is this argument? Like, because like before we were talking about like analyzing the character, right? And that was all well. Like, I had problems with the way that he was analyzing the character, but that's all well and good, right? Like, that's okay. Little bit sophistry, but like fine. Okay, good. Now he's just like devolved into why my anime girls don't have scars and blemishes and
but this dude just has a big nose with no blemishes, and if you just cover this up, right, with a headband.
Well, he's got the scar on top of his.
All right, but it's now covered, right? He has a headband on. He has a big nose.
Do you want to know the real reason behind this, Ellie? Because I can tell it involves Naruto, right? Because do you remember, like, Naruto was supposed to have like goggles, right? He wasn't going to have the headband. He was supposed to have like goggles.
Yeah, there's like one image in like chapter 1 where he has goggles.
Where he has like the goggles. But the author of Naruto quickly realized drawing goggles is hard. You know, like having to draw the goggles at like 50 billion different angles and how it looks at like different like shit, right? That's a pain in the ass. I'm just gonna give him a headband, right? Right? Same kind of thing here, I feel, right? Where it's like any like the more detail you add, the harder it's gonna be for the animators to animate and to draw, right?
And the old heads will worship their old anime until the end of times, or their end of time, haha. But most of their characters just stand in place for most of the time. It's not like old anime had amazing movement all of the time.
Yeah, and you like again, it's how easy is it to like draw and animate and do stuff. Like a lot of this is defined by the technology of the time, right? And how you go about doing it. Is he really building his entire perspective of 90s art style off one character from a single forgotten OVA? Yes, apparently, right? This is a common problem.
This one OVA invalidates the entirety of all anime that came after.
I guess. I feel like it's ignoring like all of the other like 90s animes that were just kind of mediocre or trash. It's a common thing that happens is everyone talks about the Sailor Moons and the fucking whatever, right? Like all the ones that people like recognize, but they don't talk about the like 20 gazillion like really fucking mediocre shows that came out at the time that no one fucking talks about, right?
Oh, unfortunately for us, he's talking about one.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Desert Rose.
And again, like what would be gained from the Lakoya's Recoil girls, like, I don't know, having scars or freckles or whatever? No, but isn't also the whole point of, like, again, remind me, because I did watch part of it, but I didn't end up finishing it, right? Like, isn't, like, the whole point that they're supposed to be inconspicuous, right? Like, they're not supposed to stand out because they're, like, agents and shit. And they're supposed to just look like normal fucking girls, right? So wouldn't it be kind of weird if you had like normal girl, but she has like a fucking giant scar on her face or something?
So I don't think
right?
that the Licorice Recoil, I would actually care that much if you had a scar. The uniform is kind of their cover, which is the cover that cover most of their bases. That girl might be kind of conspicuous because she has a scar, but that doesn't make her suspicious. So I don't think that in this instance, Licorice Recoil will care all that much.
I'm just like, yeah, it's again, I'm trying to like come up with why again, like I'm trying to like compartmentalize the argument here, right? Like, because I just think it's fucking stupid. Like, oh, characters with blemish good, characters with no blemish bad.
But this character with blemish bad.
Because like, what are we on about here? Oh yeah.
Yeah, because this guy with the scar was bad because it was meant to be.
Well, no, it wasn't. But no, he wasn't saying that was bad. He was saying like the only time like that happens is with like hyper Pacific like cases, right, or something like that. It's kind of what he was getting at. That. But anyway, let's get
here in the by hand era. You had them automatically. The artists back here are actually doing the double nose. This is the nose pointed at you. This is the nose if you were looking at it.
No, that's a shadow.
No, you dumb fuck. You dumb fuck. That's not what that is.
That's a shadow.
that's the shadow. You dumbass. Why would you? Okay, think about this logically for a second, right? Why would you draw the nose twice on a character?
It's an Escher painting, Naretsu. Every frame an Escher painting.
Yeah. Why would you do that? Why would you ever do that? Why would you, like, Occam's razor this for a minute, right? Why? What sounds more plausible? The artist drew the nose twice for the frame that is specifically you looking directly at the character's face. They drew the side profile of the nose in the same place as the nose, right? Or it is simply them attempting to like indicate the shadowing of the nose because the light is coming from the top, like leftish area on the face, right? Because you could kind of see like the shading, right? You're seeing like the hair and the hat, right? That causes the shade on the left, right? And then you look like the light is hitting the nose from the left, casting a shadow on the face on the right. All right. Yeah, like Ellie's here removing the shadow. Like, see how weird it looks without that, right?
Remove all the shadow.
Yeah, remove the shadow. Like, you see how like silly that looks, right? That it's the shading, my man. It's not. They're not drawing the nose twice. What is this? What are you doing?
That looks worse on stream.
If you were to draw the entire nose, it would
anyway.
No, you wouldn't draw the entire nose. What are you, my man?
A little bit like that.
My man.
No, that's not how a nose even looks.
That's not even. Yeah, that's not
it's
how
most
that nose.
Exaggerated. A nose looks like this, not like whatever like this.
Yeah, no, like okay. There's like very specific construction that would go into it, but like it's fucking. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Look,
God
Nerette,
damn.
So they're
to a
giving you
nose.
2 cuts of the nose.
It's not 2 cuts of the nose, man. What are you talking about?
Also, just to be interactive with chat and Parasocial. From what I know, Licorice Recoil was just original manga and a book, but since it got popular and Lilybell was mentioned, Lilybell was getting a book. And because Licorice Recoil is somewhat popular, I kind of expected like a spin-off or a second season or second, spin-off
you never know down
of the
the line.
Lilybells.
Yeah, never know down the line.
Who knows?
What happened? But anyway, let's get back to this fucking insanity.
Oh, so you can see it in mentions. That's not as fun. That's
No, because in this specific case, right? You would rather go with let me do this trick I did last time.
Oh my god!
You
I
would
can't
want
fucking
you would
believe
want
this
your
shit.
nose to go like whatever.
Yeah, I gotta wait for the. Yeah, like it's highly dependent on the stuff. Even in like, I'm sure if you look up Licorice Recoil screenshots or whatever, right? Like I guarantee you can find
Angles.
some fucking nonsense. Yeah, you can find some fucking like angles where like the nose shading like indicates like different shit. Like because it all depends on like the visual style and where the lighting is coming from and how they want to like represent like the nose. Like I'm having a look now and seeing like different like angles and stuff. Like it's true that in some cases, hang on, so it's a nice one. Yeah, like here we go. Hang on. Copy this one if I can. Image. Copy. I want to copy the image, Vivaldi. There we go. Here we go. I'll put this one in for you. This is a good one actually because you get to see it from 2 angles. You get to see the nose from 2 angles in this one. This is actually really good. See, there's still shade. Look. So if you want to, yeah, look. You see how you've got the triangle, right? It's a simplified nose,
yes,
but there's still see that little shade there. You see that little shadow, that little tiny little shadow there, Ellie. You see that little, on both of them. They both have it. That little shadow there. That's the same thing. That's the same thing on the 90s girl. It's just the 90s girl has a different shaped nose because the visual style is different, right? But it's the same principle. Like you could even directly like trace the lineage, right, of the stylizing, right? Like we went from, one way of doing the noses to a new way of doing the noses, right? And it's not even like one is better than the other, right?
Yeah, I hear like 3 different characters at once.
Yeah. Yeah, look, you can tell, you can look at the shading, you can see the shade, like, it's still there. It's the same thing. It's just less nose, and that's fine because it works for the style of Licorice Recoil, right? It works for that style. You are like, if you put like a realistic nose on the Licorice Recoil girls, it would look just as silly as what this guy is doing, where he's putting like the simplified nose on the girl from the fucking not 80s or 90s, right? Like it's just differences in visual style. It's not like a good versus bad, right? It's just different ways of going about the same like thing, right? I just like, this is so fucking dumb. This is so fucking stupid. Why are we fucking like, God, these people sometimes, man. It's just fucking retardation, man. Like, what are we fucking doing? But anyway, so we're getting there.
That's not as detailing. That's not as characterizing. That's not as realistic as what this character really.
See, like, again, like in this shot here, like, again, it's not drawing the side thing. It's just to like indicate the shape, right?
Also,
it's
because
not necessarily a it's not necessarily a shade.
Because
it's to,
what
like,
is
again,
this line, Naretsu? This line, there's no line up there on your head, on your actual hand.
No, It's to indicate the fact that she's looking at like a
slightly
like
different.
She's not looking directly, like her head is not directly at the camera. It's looking to the side, right? Like that's why you see like on one side of the face you see the ear, on the other side of the face the ear is like hidden behind like the contour of the skull, right? Like that's what's happening here, right? It's simply there to give you the visual indication that she is like the angle of the character is not flat straight ahead at your fucking like, you know, eyes, right? How does the nose affect characterization? Well, it depends. It depends. It depends on it depends again, it depends on the style and it depends on the thing. Like if you specifically want a character to have a bigger nose, right? You would have to like draw it different, obviously, right? So it kind of depends. It depends on what the effect is, but that's like individual artist nonsense, right? A little bit. But anyway,
really is. They're trying to convey to us that Irene is real, flaws and all.
Okay, on the one hand, I get what he's trying to say here, because by technicality, all art is usually trying to convey like something that's like real, right? Like you are trying to portray a person, right? People are real, right? So therefore, you could argue, and again, this is going to sound really fucking stupid, but bear with me here, right? You could make the argument that all anime is attempting to portray reality, in a sense, right? It's a dumb argument, and the reason it's a dumb argument is because anime is obviously stylized. It is not a one-to-one recreation of. It's not attempting to be a one-to-one recreation of reality. It is, to use like the meme word that everyone gets triggered by, it is a deconstruction of reality.
No, don't say
right?
that.
I know. I'm going to get like 1 million people mad at me for using that word. But in this context, it's the correct word to use. Because essentially what you're doing is you're taking something from reality, i.e. a face, a person, right? And you are boiling that down, right? You are removing detail to the point where it becomes an anime group, right?
I would
You're
call it
taking a real-
abstraction.
yeah, abstraction. Exactly. Yeah, you're correct, right? But like, I describe it as deconstruction because that's like a way to make it understandable, right? It's like you are taking something and then you are removing the details and going down and boiling it down. Now, I make the argument that the Lycoris recoil is more of a boiling down than what's happening in the 90s, but I actually wouldn't even argue that. I'd say it's about the same, right? It's just visual differences.
Yeah,
due to
when
stylization.
this character's nose goes up to here, that is not a real person. You know, in the previous image, the whole nose, whatever this.
Yeah, because you have to. Yeah, because when you're stylizing stuff like this, you have to like think about ways to draw it in a way that, because again, the human brain, human brains are very good at filling in gaps, right? We see something and we recognize it as a face, right? So as long as you're able to create the illusion that something is a face, right? The brain is very good at figuring that out, right? So that's why you, like, again, like when you've drawn like the rest of the nose, right? It doesn't make any sense to the human eye to have that line there. But if you take that line out, the brain like auto corrects, right? To fix it. Like it's such a weird argument. Like I'm so perplexed by this idea that somehow the 90s OVA character is quote unquote more realistic / better than Lycoris Recoil's characters, right? It's a really weird way to go about it. I feel like I feel you could make a video talking about the differences in the stylization between like modern anime and 90s anime. I think that could be like an interesting topic to dig into as like a video concept. But this guy's not really like providing any of that. He's just kind of being like, the 90s is better because it's more real, and it being more real makes it better, and that's why I like it more, because she has the freckles and the nose, Ellie, and that makes it better. Like, that's all I'm getting from this. I'm not actually getting any real analysis, right, or anything. And I see you. Yeah, you're having a fun time drawing faces on the stream right now. You're gonna have to get rid of them because we're gonna hit play in them.
Gone before this problem.
Oh man. All right. Anyway, let's keep going.
Now, of course, Desert Rose's overall theme is dangerous femininity. Irene is a counter-terrorist. She's tough, she's reckless, she's a tomboy who fights alongside a healthy dose of open sexuality and glamour. This smug face right here, this is the visual descriptor of her confidence.
That's
her
not
actions
her
like
face,
wielding her
but
weapon here always help to.
I appreciate I'm doing it wrong, right?
Yeah, don't you fucking brackets free me. don't you fucking equals free me. Oh man. God help. But anyway, yeah, this is the shot that keeps getting posted on Twitter, by the way, where they're like the grenades in the door and the fucking boob thing.
Further
right?
characterized rough and confident. Of course, being in the 90s, these are all hand-drawn cells. The line thickness changes as it goes from point to point, and it can aid in things like shading. Notice that all of our lighter hair has thinner line work, the darker hair has noticeably heavier line art. The faces are truly
fun fact, you can do that with digital art too, my man. That's not it's not fucking limited to you, like line weight and stuff. In fact, you even have more control over that when you're doing digital art, because especially if you're drawing your line art in vector.
I kind of felt that the Barbarian Wife show had like
that's got pretty
line art.
Yeah.
Focus on line art, and Mushoku Tensei has this like filter on top of it that makes it a little bit grainy.
If you're drawing in like vector, which you usually should be nowadays if you're doing line art, because vector is a lot more there's pros and cons, right, between raster and vector line art, right? It kind of depends on what you want to do. But with vector line art, you have like tools that are specifically for being able to adjust like line width after you've processed the line. So you would draw the line first, and then you can go in and like fine tune that shit, right, and make it like how you want it. I've done vector line arting before. It's a bit of a process, but you can, it ends up being a little bit better because vector doesn't have the how do I describe this? Kind of like the pixelization, like raster is like a fixed resolution, right? If this makes sense, right? So if I drew a line at like 20 pixels, right, that line will stay at 20 pixels. So if you zoomed in on that line, or you made that line bigger, it'll get pixelated, if that makes sense, because the pixels get physically bigger, right? But if you're drawing in vector, right, and you draw in vector at 20 pixels, if you zoom in, it actually doesn't get pixelated, right? Because it's a vector, it's not rasterized, right? It's kind of difficult to explain, but that's like the general concept behind it, is like vector line art is usually preferred because it allows you to get like sharper detail without having to sacrifice like resolution.
I am somewhat familiar.
Yeah, Gouda's right. Like you can downscale it, you can do stuff. Yeah, vector is literally math. It's like just numbers. Yeah, it's like
I'm vaguely familiar. I'm somewhat familiar because HTML website graphics and all that stuff.
Yeah, you've been doing some shit with that.
Also, when you print GarageKit for your models, right? The eyes you'd rather do in vectors because you might want to print it at a different size than the default one. So you want to have it vectorized so you can scale it in any, mostly smaller, but you don't lose your resolution on if you print it at a slightly different scale.
Well, yeah. So looping back to the video, like the point being here is just because it's traditionally drawn on a cell, right? Like you could it's kind of weird because you technically could like recreate the style of the 90s probably with modern software. It's just people don't for some
I was kind
reason.
of thinking about it, and I came to my personal realization that the reason why when a character starts talking in the Cell era or anime from the Cell era, the character sometimes shifts like 2 pixels to the side for some reason.
Yeah.
And that's
because
because
of the
that
different
cell is now
drawings,
actively being drawn on, and it's
Yeah.
moving on the cell because people have touched it a bunch of times, and that's the reason why a character who's standing in the
Another really,
background, and then suddenly
since we're
when he
talking
starts
about-
talking, it moves a bit.
Since we're talking about like vector a little bit, to another benefit of vector line art is you also can erase to the like point. So like if you drew an X, right, you can actually erase one of the lines on the X and it just completely erases the line up to the intersection. It's actually really fucking great for if you're doing here, because you could like draw the here really like vaguely in a sense, like you can cross the lines, right, and then just erase all of the overlap. It's fucking great. I love it. But anyway, back to
the cartoonish. They're not even close to the kinds of faces that you and I would make if we were to be embarrassed. It's a fun stylistic choice. It allows us to see more into her personality. Another fun thing I see here is the non-standard facial structure. Usually anime faces have 2 long sides, and the hair will meet us somewhere up here to help us move along. On Irene, we have this really strange part that if you stare at it for too long, it starts to become uncanny, which has this really weird bulbous megamind forehead here. Even our other cast.
but
That's called an art style.
Yeah.
Up here has this really strange head. The ears definitely aren't realistic either.
Also,
they have like
I
3
just makes the
layers,
mistake
right?
of drawing the head as if it's hair. The head in the hair.
That's another problem. Yeah, like if you were
It's
drawing
very
the skull.
strange.
Yeah.
These are artistic choices of the artists. They don't detract at all. They're just something I noticed. Also, let's state the obvious.
Also,
90s
because
anime
I kind of
is super
think the
nostalgic.
reason
No,
why
90s anime. Ali, did you know that 90s anime is super nostalgic?
Oh yeah, by definition.
Okay, there's this weird phenomenon that's kind of happening for like the 80s and 90s where you have these zoomies, right? I don't know how old this guy is, right? But you have these zoomies that are, and I've kind of talked about this like a little bit on the cast before. I can't remember when, but it was like in one of these videos at some point. We covered like fucking probably like a month or 2 ago now, because we've been kind of on and off streaming for a while, right? Because of the holidays and whatnot. But this idea of like people that are nostalgic for an era that they never experienced, right? Like I grew up, like again, I'm a 96er, right? I was born in 96, so I didn't necessarily experience the 90s in a sense, because by the time I was like cognizant, right, it would have been like 2000, right? So I got like the tail end of the 90s. Although you could argue, because New Zealand is like was a little bit like behind, like lagging a little bit behind, and a lot of media that we had in the 2000s was just stuff from the 80s and 90s replayed, right? A lot of the time, because it's like cheaper, right? So you could argue I did experience a bit of like the 90s, right? Like in a sense, I remember what a VHS is, for example, right? I used a VHS.
But
when I was
also,
a kid, right? I know what a VHS is.
sorry to interrupt you. This is Roy from Bochi the Rock. This is Hatsune Miku. They both say that it's 90s vintage anime.
It's yeah. Well, this is what I'm talking about, right? And it's actually let me play it a little bit, so because you're a bit behind.
And it's very.
I want to get it to a different frame. You'll see what I mean. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking. Yeah, this shit. This is again. These zoomies, right? Like I can argue that I have the capacity for now 90s nostalgia, because when I was growing up in the like early 2000s, right, we still had the tail end of the 90s, right? There's like the after images that I can be nostalgic about, right? Even though I didn't necessarily grow up specifically in the 90s, right? The zoomies don't have that. The zoomies that were born in like, I don't know, 2000, 2005, right? They didn't grow up with the 90s. They didn't like experience the 90s until they were like, I don't know, until like 2010. Right?
Yeah,
They
I
have
am.
so I find it weird that you have people like, because no one, like, there's a little bit of nostalgia for, like, what is it, the
Star
Windows thing,
Wars.
like, no, Aero, the style, right, the visual style, Aero or whatever, right? Like, there's a little bit of nostalgia for that that's popping up now, but it's very interesting that even though we're several generations removed, people are still, like, stuck in the 80s and 90s when they don't even have, they don't even have an actual reference point. They're not nostalgic for the actual 80s and 90s. They're nostalgic for the idea of the 80s and 90s, if that makes sense.
There was some podcast that I'm listening to, and somebody revealed Metsu a great grave danger coming, and that is that we're now bombarded um, with 90s nostalgia, right? Star Wars and
Yeah.
whatever, and He-Man even, and what all the stuff. Naretsu, there is a chance, there is a threat that in 30 years there will be a 90s nostalgia.
Yeah. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Is there's this weird sort of, like, being nostalgic for something, like, again, it's an era that didn't exist technically, right? Like, this whole, like, looking at, like, these t-shirts, right? This AI generated fucking anime throwback shit, right? This isn't what the 90s looks like. This isn't fucking what it looks like. This isn't what the 80s looks like.
This is some fake Ghost in the Shell, but with, what was it?
Vague fucking
Vaporware? No,
vaporwave fucking
Vaporwave.
purple tones nonsense, right? This isn't what the 80s and 90s actually fucking look like, right? And this is what I'm getting at, is they are, like, it's been memed, like, to use lack of a better term, right? It's been fucking, like, copied of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy to the point where it's not even reminiscent of the thing it was copying in the first place, right? And now you have the zoomies getting nostalgic for something that's not even the thing that, like, existed, right? And I don't know, I'm not gonna, like, accuse this guy of doing that. I don't actually think that's what he's doing, right? But when he's bringing up this point about how 80s and 90s stuff is nostalgic as fuck, it's like, well, kind of,
But
I don't think people are actually nostalgic for the actual 80s and 90s. They're nostalgic for this, like, vague meme conceptualization of what the 80s and 90s were.
yeah,
Right?
but Naretsu, because we're looking at this frame, I don't think that these t-shirts are actually selling all that much.
I don't think so either.
I don't think that, but just because you can find a thing with all these buzzwords mean that this is a real revival of the nostalgia, whatever. This is some, like, guy that has a that has a discount on a shirt printer and will just print on demand shirts for
some
and getting a
Chinese
20 and getting a $27 margin on the shirts that he's selling, or $22 margin on the shirts that he's selling.
But anywho, yeah, it's yeah. There's this weird fucking, yeah. I just think this stuff is just kind of silly to kind of make as a point, right? This whole, oh, everyone's so goddamn, the nostalgia, and oh boy, it's I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's where are we at? There we are.
The whole vaporwave and VHS anime hype is, I don't know.
Yeah. Again, but it's not real. It's not fucking real. It's not
also,
real nostalgia
I feel
from the time.
That the VHS tapes are more of a victim of the scalper reseller market, crypto gambling.
I mean, it's
variety.
not like VHS tapes are being made anymore.
No,
Right.
it's basically Pokemon cards but thicker in that sense. Oh, I have the super rare VHS tapes with the instruction manual and the cover and the plastic case with it. Let me grade it and give it a grading of whatever grade.
We already did our thingamabob, right? We already went in and talked about that in that one video with the Jake Paul shit. Like, yeah. So anyhow, let's
time high, frankly. This character being in that style makes her super easy to talk about on the internet. It's a very relatable character in a very popular art style. You're gonna win every single time. So if you want to make your own character like Irene that gets feels real, here's what you gotta do. You have to find a way to flaw your characters. Could be freckles, could be sleepy eyes, could be unkempt hair. Often we create characters with moral flaws, and that's fantastic. But if we can introduce a few visual flaws, that's great too. This also allows for something really cool. You get to actually develop the character through their actions, not just their story. Irene here is kind of dumpy, let's be honest. But through her actions in the story, we get to understand who she really is. She's more than just her looks. Another character that...
Oh, which character isn't? Tell me.
I feel like this would have a lot more impact if he actually, like, designed a character, right? Using the lessons that he supposedly learnt from this character. That would be more interesting to me. Right, because then I could also judge his own art if he does do art, right?
Or just character design, because let's say, I believe, right, if I were to design a character here on the spot, I wouldn't need to. Oh, looks so good. I'm going to have to draw it so perfectly. Nah, man, my character that I'm going to draw on the spot is a guy. But he has like a cool pointy, kind of like your head, actually.
It's a dude. He's got
pointy, but he doesn't have the feathers on.
Bloodborne style, fucking whatever.
The head. All right, so this is a guy, right? But the guy is kind of tormented. He has this cowboy hat, but he's actually like a dwarf, and he has a weird hat for a reason, because he kind of thinks that he kills his brother, and he's kind of chased out of his village because he killed his brother. And now his goal to solve the killing of his brother that he thinks he did, his goal is to earn a lot of money so he can prove that he was the better brother of the two and not guilty. Does that prove that he's guilty? No. But that's his character flaw. Also, he has a cool hat.
So in here, yeah, let's keep going.
What comes to mind here is Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings. He's a big oaf. He's not much to look at, but his adventures characterize him. He's one of the most beloved fantasy characters of all time because of this. Start your character a little bit low on the totem pole so that way we can see them grow. Also, your character can look really cool.
But this is writing advice. This is not character design.
Yeah, what is this? Yeah, what are we doing here? Yeah. And again, this is all like basic bitch ass shit too. This ain't even like complicated.
For battle, but you have to give them some downtime. You have to give them some casual, normal human interactions. Slice of Life does this really well, but that's all they do. Intense action shows, they have all this cool stuff going on, but we never really get to see the characters.
You're comparing a movie to a hours long
fucking battleship of all movies.
You're comparing 50 episodes, I believe, right? Nichijou is a long, not maybe whatever. At least hours worth minimum, most like 2 courses at minimum. So divided by half, not really, but anyway, let's give it like 10 hours. 10 hours of character doing things compared with 1.5 at most of battle. I assume of Battleship. That's not a fair comparison. You don't have the same time to introduce and develop and explore the characters.
Yeah, look, we need to spend half the movie's runtime of just the characters like chilling in the fucking cafeteria. That's that's what you got to do, right? You got to do that. Oh man, it's fucking so silly.
As they are, they just become fake. Here we have an even mix of on the job and at home. We get to see 2 of her 3 faces. Me studying Nadine here with you tonight, I found one thing. Imperfection is often closer to perfect than you think. If you learned one simple thing, then you might as well subscribe, because you're going to learn a lot more if you stick around.
Are you sure about that?
We do lots of character reviews from all kinds of places, and if you're a character designer yourself, you can send your characters to me. I want to take a look. Let me know what you thought of this video.
Right.
Everything's at our
What are you
website
going
down
to
in the
do?
description.
Weekly character design analysis, man. If that dude, my man. What are we again? Like this is the. I would correct that this was Cole because this is Cole.
Below. You'll have a investor evening. I'll see you around.
Investor evening. Did I hear that right, Naratsu?
I don't. But no, this was really fucking bad. I'm sorry. Like I don't. Again, he didn't really. Like I like. Okay, the first part of the video where it's like analyzing the character. Okay, some of that's all right, but I don't necessarily agree with some of the like methodology. Right, that's fine. Right, that's whatever it is. But then he starts going into this like very weird, 90s good, modernity bad type
Licorice
shit.
Licoy bad because it has character designs of the time.
Yeah, because simplicity is bad or something, right? Like, making characters that are, don't have like giant scars or freckles or whatever is bad. Like, have characters that have flaws or whatever, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, you can make a character more interesting by adding like a defining like feature like that, right? But that doesn't necessarily have to be true all the time. I mean, with Licorice Recoil, you've got one girl who's got like the red headband for type thing, right? That's like a define. Like it doesn't just have to be like an actual flaw slash. I wouldn't even describe them as flaws, right? Like it doesn't have to be like a scar or a freckle or whatever. You could have like a defining, accessory or a style of the hair or a different thing, right? Like there's ways to go about having a defined character that don't necessarily involve giving them like, I don't know, the fucking Tumblr meme like multi skin color bullshit, right? Or something, right? And then it just devolves from there into this like really weird, almost bashing on modern anime, right? And gassing up this like character from this OVA, right? That again, really I've only ever seen in like the gif of like the door and the fucking grenade or whatever that he did show in the video, right? That's the only time I've fucking like seen this show or heard. I didn't even know what it was called, right? I just knew it was a show or something from the 90s. And that's not even getting into kind of like I'll just finish up my final points and I'll let you go because I actually got this too. But like the whole thing with the nostalgia as well, right? It's like, okay, yeah, 90s nostalgia, cool, but is it really for the 90s or is it for this, like, again, the vague concept of the 90s, right? And that's kind of, my final thoughts on the video is, I will give it the coal seal. It was a coal mine. It was definitely coal. Very, very coal. Not a fan. It wasn't great. I will be back in a sec, Ellie. You can tell the chat what your final thoughts were.
Yeah, I mean, it started off already with a weird, oh, look at her hair, it's messy, or something. Alright, it is voluminous, right? Which was the style at the time. Kind of, big curly hair. Sure, alright. But to say it's unkempt, not flawy, no, it is fairly well kept. It's in shape. There's no, what you would do in animation is showing loose strands of hair poking out in random directions. She's confident. Her eyes are not sleepy. She's just, has more of a sly and expression most of the time. And I don't know why he's so confident, sure, about that those eyes are sleepy eyes. No idea. And it kind of
that was very weird,
kind of just informs a weird character no, not even weird character reading, because I kind of feel that the other stuff that he's saying is correct, right? That, alright, she's confident,
Yeah, in like
whatnot.
a vague, like generalist sense, yes. It's like he's technically correct in some of what he's saying, but then he's also like wrong in other ways.
It more feels like that he's getting the character from the actions that she does than the character looking at the character design itself, right?
Yeah,
Because if
yeah.
that image of her in the maid outfit looking like behind her with a smirk, that tells to me that she is confident, doesn't bow down to authority right away because she's not looking all prim and proper like. Right, those two elements. She does her job well. She's a maid, or at least wears a maid outfit, but she's not above. She's not a slave to a master or anything. She can be sly on the job, and that that you have to be confident to some extent to do that. That is what I get from her character, but not her being sleepy. I mean, half open eyes are, to me, more of a observant of a character with some wit, not a character that is about to lose consciousness. At least in this sense, because you need to have some bag under your eyes or like a a closed small mouth. If you're sleepy or character is sleepy, you don't have a character with a big grin. You have a character whose mouth would be drawn kind of smaller than usually, even because in the analog of real life, your face would be kind of a longer, maybe even a little bit droopy, and that would kind of compress the shape of your mouth into a smaller shape. Compared to if you're happy and wide awake, your mouth will be wider and happier. That's my read on character design. And the thing, if you really thought that she was sleepy all the time, I wouldn't necessarily describe, that wouldn't really translate into a real confident character. Because a sleepy character is a character that wants to get away from things most of the time, mostly too bad. So I believe that most of the character character analysis that he does is based on the actions of throwing grenades and having guns and all that stuff, rather than just the image of the maid thing. So that's character design. He has really made no argument for why this 90 character is more real. When he says, "All right, but my character has flaws." All right, but if you have a scar in like My Hero Academia or that one Demon Blade anime, that doesn't count. The trauma that Fire Ice Boy has is not real Naretsu. It's fake. It's not real Naretsu. It's lame. That character is lame. He has no character arc. It's all fake. Right? I never got that far to get into his trauma, but I understand there's a big trauma involved with this character.
I'm like half paying attention. I'll be real, so I don't fucking.
Now the My Hero Academia guy with the face and
there is some trauma around that kind of thing. But it gets sorted out in the show, but it is a thing. It is a thing that happens.
Yeah, but also in the end, the comparison between a movie and at a minimum 5 hours of character interaction show is not fair. I'm not going to fault even Battleship for having less character development time, less character interaction time than an actual series. And Mushroom is right. Licorice Recoil had character interactions, a bunch of them, and a couple of fight scenes, but a bunch of just characters talking, sometimes to the enemy, just having a chat on the couch. But that they could do that because it was a series, not a 1.5 hour movie. And if you wanted to have characters stand in a room and talk a bunch, then your movie needs to be 3 hours long and be called Dune. And be also 3 parts, so the total runtime is actually 9 hours. I forgot how long the movies were actually. They were longer than usual. Oh yeah, Todoroki.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his name. Yeah. Right. Well, anyway, I guess we can move into talking about actual animes and actual animus. We've got animus to talk about.
Yeah, we're already
quite
like
a few.
I said in the beginning.
We're getting close.
Yeah, almost done already. Well, it does go faster when we're missing like.
It goes faster when we're missing like
half the season, 4 episodes at minimum.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll do probably a more in-depth like talk probably next week once things have kind of ended. But we can, let's. So what do we got? What's our first slide?
Let's do this
Bring
slide.
What do we got? Okay, yeah, I'll do Sensei. Well, actually, I could probably do Sensei and Pervert show. Like, so the Pervert show is continuing. The Housewives are, we get introduced. I think they're gonna end the show kind of on the like Justice girl who's like gets off to like Justice, and she's like a giant fucking like tall woman who's like super strong, and like she's like the final boss of like this arc. It's good. It's fine. I am still lamenting the fact that it's short show because I feel like it harms the pacing quite a bit, and it does sort of make things a bit, so probably better to read the manga to get like the full experience. But it's good that it got animated at all, so I can't be like too downer on it. But at the same time, it would have been nice to get a full show out of it. On to like better ecchi, I guess. Our Yamoyama sensei. Fun times going on in that. They went to the pool. It was quite good. Lots of shenanigans happening. The format of Yamoyama is quite nice, where it's sort of like these like little short sort of like segments. I guess like each episode kind of has like 3 different arcs that it tries to cover. Like they're at the pool trying to like convince these 2 other girls that our main sensei girl is actually really nice, but she ends up fucking tripping over and causing all kinds of nonsense to happen.
And the scene, and I kind of
yeah,
see it.
It's good. It's good. It's quite funny. There's a bit where the kind of pervert girl, the like little lolly girl, senses that like our guy's a little bit depressed, so she orchestrates this whole thing where everyone dresses up in maid outfits. Because that's how she thinks like that'll cheer him up, right?
Why not?
Why not? So it's good. It's good. I've been enjoying it. It's one of those things where I'm kind of trying to avoid doing play-by-plays these days because it's a little bit like there's not like I could like explain every single
joke,
like joke and every single like plot point, like talk about they were like, because this whole like last like 3 or 4 episodes have been like summer vacation and they're doing photography club stuff, right? And like the guy is like picking out what he thinks the best photo is, and it's like the group photo, and the sensei is like mistaking like feelings of love for feelings of being pampered like a mommy. So she's like thinking that like and he's like disappointed because he does actually love sensei. Right? So there's like I could go into like massive detail, or I could just say it's actually a really good ecchi show. Because again, you get the boobs. We get boobs quite a bit. Full nips, so nice and uncensored. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with the sensei. I'll talk a bit more in general terms next week when it's finished. But yeah, it's good ecchi show. If you're after an ecchi show for the season, I would say it's a pretty good pick. So you do your witch hats. How's the witch ATF doing?
The witch ATF is outside because the test is going on to prove that you can cast a spell basically under your cloak, so the regular people
they won't know.
They won't
see your
know.
concealed. They won't see your concealed carry.
Yeah. There is some.
Oh man.
There's some fancy lore that it starts with, like, all right, this cave that they are going in, because it's not the main character that is going into the cave. There's two fellow students that are going in to do the test, and another student from another teacher. This cave, there was once a proper ridiculously wealthy source witch nation under the earth, and everybody that came out from outside, they look from a person that lives above ground. How ugly, how poor they must be, because they did
those surface peeps being surface. Yeah.
How ugly they are, because they did all kind of gold magic and had their whole kingdom, underground kingdom, made out of gold. So everybody wanted to get to the kingdom of gold, but they were like, no, only if you go through this cave system and kind of make it through to the end, then we'll let you in. So they were like, oh, you pores, and then that's all fine and good, Naretsu. But then they went, hey, neighbor, are you actually good enough to live here? So their system of purity went further and further, and everybody
you start purity testing, and it ends up going down.
And everybody, Naretsu, everybody, if they were not pure enough, they could serve the kingdom by being turned into gold statues.
Oh, that's okay.
And then the whole thing crumbled into nothingness. Very eloquently.
Gee, I wonder what the moral of that story is.
It collapsed under its own weight of gold.
Purity spiral's bad, guys. Don't do purity spiral. Not good. Not good.
But anyway, that's just some fun lore of the world, which I found interesting enough to repeat. But the test itself goes along, and the moral of the test is that the one of the students is kind of triggered by the concept of doing things one way. She wants to make her own spells her own way, and not be told that what she's doing is wrong for any reason.
Yeah. I would never ever do anything. You got to do it my way. My way is the best way.
Yeah.
Screw those other ways. I'm smart. I know what I'm doing.
Yes, but not more in the sense that she kind of is against the concept of there being one right answer, instead of using magic to come up with your own answer. So when this nervous boy that comes by with testing, who is a different teacher, and the teacher says, "You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You cannot do this. You're bad. You're useless, etc." Very good teacher this guy has. So he is real kind of stressed, insecurity, inferiority complex, and just goes, "All right, so." What you need to do here is do this, and to have these animals follow us, you have to do this mimicry spell thing, right? And that's the correct answer, and this triggers our main character for this little arc that goes, "Nah, man, I'm just going to wave some shiny things behind me, and the animals will follow me. Fuck your answer. This is my answer."
The true answer. Yeah, that's good.
The right answer is the one that works, and that is your own.
Yeah. It's literally Occam's razor, the character. The simplest solution. We go We go
and
with
then
that.
for the character growth of the episode, this nervous boy that comes then to an obstacle. The other two of our school, of our atelier, make it through by two different means, and it will alright. They work, but he doesn't have an answer. He doesn't know the right answer. Oh no! And then he goes, I cannot draw if people are watching me. Makes me nervous, makes me hand unsteady, makes me draw bad circles, which then the spell won't work, right?
Bad spells.
Yeah. So then he goes, wait, this cape that I'm wearing is a special cape that makes animals perceive us as one of their own. So he looks at the spell and goes, wait a minute. If I just erase the part of the mirror, because the spell is constructed as such, right? So this is why the spell system of this show is kind of interesting. The cape that they're wearing is a spell that says first cloak the wearer in shadow, then mirror the nearest animal and mirror it on top of the shadow that is clad the wearer. So the wearer is obscured, and a mirror illusionary image is projected on top of it, and therefore you look like an animal to the nearest animal there is. Cool. What if you erase the mirror part? Then you're cloaked in the shadow. And if you're cloaked in shadow, you're basically invisible in the dark, and people cannot see you. So this boy goes, I am hidden. Nobody can see me. I am in my element.
You can't see me. You can't see me.
You can't see
my
me.
My time is now.
I cannot be exposed for drawing spells because they cannot see me. I'm drawing a spell that I'm thinking of right now because I'm confident, because nobody is here to see me, to judge me. La 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 la. I've made it through the obstacle. And that's the character moment of the arc. You see, the very character developmental boy's eyes were hidden, obscured under his hair, which is covering his eyes. But now, Naretsu, you can see the eyes through the hair. Not completely, but you can see his green eyes now. Character development. That good stuff. But then, Naretsu, the brimmed hats come and take the proctor of the tests. Bam!
Oh no! Oh no!
And she yells, don't listen to the brimmed hats. Don't listen. Forbidden magic, don't. And then she's gone. So next episode is those three students may or may not be tempted or corrupted by the forbidden magic.
That evil AK-47. Yeah.
There was one moment of interest, is that when the boy was erasing the part of the mirror, the mirroring part of the cloak, he was just a ball of shadow, and a ball of shadow kind of resembles like a bit of forbidden magic. So the proctor of the test, right, was suddenly the boy was engulfed in a ball of shadow, and then wind barrier, stay behind me. This might be forbidden magic. And she was full on battle mode. And then he goes, no, don't worry. I drew this. And then it was all fine. So
okay.
People take this stuff seriously. But she's kidnapped now and gone, and the students may or may not be corrupted by forbidden magic. We'll see. That's it. Next episode. Kind of a cliffhanger, this episode.
So, we have a bit to talk about.
Yeah, since last
Holy
episode,
shit.
K-Angels got dethroned.
Yeah, last episode, big, we killed God, right? We killed K-Angel. Now we have the consequences of killing God, I guess.
Not yet, because if I'm reading this correctly, the whole episode is just, in Ame's head.
Well, I mean, this is the thing, right? The show is you have to kind of think, right, what's real and what's not? What's going on here, right? Because it's
So
very
to
fucking
start right at the ending, right? The ending is when Kamarasov says, right, that this huge persona, this huge personality was just a single girl, right?
mm,
And I kind of interpreted that as them visiting her now she's lost and lose the throne, right? They're going to call up on her door and say, "Hey, we're here. How you doing?" etc. etc.
let's be friends,
Yeah.
question mark. Something or
However,
another.
Naretsu, I did this on purpose, you see. Because in the beginning of this episode, Ame is kind of freaking out and hiding in the bathroom, hiding from a doorbell.
Yeah, I think that it's very much implied that it's kind of like the beginning is the end in this episode, right? And we're kind of seeing this, like, I don't know if I'd say it's a cycle, but we're seeing, like, she's having a bit of a mental breakdown.
Yeah,
There's
the
a bit
whole
of a
OP
fucking mental
was
breakdown
also
going on.
not very
Yeah, the
normal.
OP was fucked up. Yeah, that was actually really cool. I think OP was, like, fucked because K-Angel is fucked, right? So there's, like, persona has been damaged, right? I guess.
Yeah.
Perhaps not killed, but, like, damaged, and that's causing, like, weird shit to happen in the, like, throughout the episode. It's again, it's very, and I do appreciate this a little bit, right? I think it's interesting how it is hard to tell what's fact and fiction here, like what's actually happening and what's kind of the, like, what's like, because we're seeing this through Ami's perspective, obviously, right? This is clearly like what's happening in her head versus what's happening in the real world, right? And what's happening in her head is she's going through this whole, like, fucking crisis of identity in a sense, where she and a lot of it is also very vulgar, as well. You have this kind of scene where she's, like, on the toilet and she's hearing, like, the voices of all of these, like, creepy ass otaku men, right? Talking about her, like, oh, she's on her period, and fucking, like, you see, like, blood is, like, represented as kind of like more of this, like,
blue,
goop, like the kind of bluey color, which I'm wondering, because there's a lot of, like, censorship in this episode, which I don't know whether or not this is, like, again, this is kind of an interesting thing. Is it actual censorship of the scene, or is it intended to be censored for, like, the purpose of the artistic vision? Right?
I kind of
Like,
feel that the blue blood in particular is more of the insect thing that is
yeah,
present.
it's like an artistic choice. Like, because there's also, like, a lot of sections in this episode that are like the image has been altered and it's, like, completely fucking blacked out, right?
I kind of feel
And it's like,
that is real censorship in the sense, that is the censorship of the episode.
I feel like it might be. We'd have to see, because if they release, like, a Blu-ray version, right, and it's, like, uncensored, then we'll know. Like, right? We'll know, right? Then
Yeah, but
if
the
they release
blue
a version
blood
that's
is,
uncensored.
I feel, more of the insect, butterfly, moth.
Yes, because
thing.
there's a whole caterpillar, butterfly, moth metaphor going on here. But to kind of continue, right? Because I feel like, not to give the play-by-play, but I feel it's important for, like, talking about this episode because it's so fucking clusterfucky, right? Yeah, she's kind of hearing, like, these voices of, like, all these otaku kind of leering at her and talking about, oh, her body and her being gross and all of this kind of, like, back and forth kind of shit. Like, she's, like, on the toilet, and while she's on the toilet, they're all commenting about it. She, like, is, like, basically naked and puts on, like, a cloak and goes down the elevator. But when she gets to the end of the elevator, it's just all of these, like, creepy ass men that it's very implied that they rape her.
Well,
Right?
but I don't think that is real. It's just the fear of her of being. She's so
Yeah,
she's so
I'm
feel that
wondering.
she's watched all the time that it bleeds into her when she's not on stream, she feels that she's being
and
watched
she's
and
like
judged.
hallucinating kind of like these are like possible scenarios, right? Of like a crazy fan or like multiple crazy fans gang raping her and whatnot. Of course, this is all like very heavily censored, right? Like in the show. And like whether or not that's going to be like artistic censorship or whether or not it is, you know, network censorship remains to be seen. We will find out, I guess, at some point, maybe, possibly, who knows. But she then kind of does this like Godzilla puke vomit thing.
Oh, it was the Ava thing. The Ava.
Oh yeah, the Ava. Yeah, it was kind of like a mixture of the two, wasn't it? Because she does like the beam thing from like Shin Godzilla, where like the
Yeah,
beam,
but then
like
the
the vomit
Ray
gets,
Ava thing.
and she's got like the fucking Evangelion wings or whatever. And then she like kind of like goes on trial, and there's this really weird kind of like trial section for like K Angel, right? And kind of you even get some like real life kind of shots coming, like the real life people show up a little bit in that. And there's a very interesting implication. I know, yeah, we're going to be skipping a lot of stuff here, right? So definitely, I would say it's worth watching for yourself, really, to get like the full experience. But you have kind of this implication that Amy is almost disgusted with K Angel in a sense, like because Amy is like the lawyer in the situation, trying to defend K Angel. But then at the end, when K Angel is like having her crash out after seeing like the two imaginary friends, which is context for later, right?
Yeah.
Essentially has like a crash out over that. And I'm wondering if it's like, because, okay, I'm kind of jumping around, but it's, again, it's hard not to with this kind of thing. Because later in the episode, there's, okay, Amy has like this, like, Alice in Wonderland imaginary friend, right? That's like hanging around with her, and she's talking to the imaginary friend. The mum is like pouring herself out, has this boyfriend who's a bit of a dick, right? You know, it's really only around for the money, clearly, right? And there's a point, like, I gotta say, the point where he tries to like assault Amy and the imaginary friend is like fucking terrified watching this happen that is a fucking great scene, right? Like that is like I feel like that really hammered the emotional states going on right there. Because like clearly the imaginary friend is like a reflection of like Amy doesn't recognize this, but like the imaginary friend is like a reflection of like the person creating the imaginary friend in a sense usually. So yeah, having the imaginary friend like not be one can't help to begin with because it's imaginary, but also like just looking at what's happening with this like terrified, disgusted look on its face, right? It's fucking insane. Like really well done.
And it's all right. So she has this imaginary friend, but they don't feel like the use of the imaginary friends is for what you presume is for emotional support.
But, it's like a coping mechanism.
Yeah, but both of them can't give any. So with Ame, the only purpose they have is for a kind of a violent fantasy of Ame.
Yeah, Amy like kills the first one
by throwing her off the building, and the second one by pulling out hair or something, or choking her.
It gets very heavily censored. I assume what's happening is she's strangling it with the hair, is I think what's happening. Because again, it gets censored, so you don't actually see a lot of it. But I assume what's happening is that she's like wrapped the hair around the neck of the magical girl imaginary friend and just like strangled her. That's what I think's happened. But yeah, she ends up killing the imaginary friends. And then there's like this bit where like she like switches to like try and seduce like the fucking guy by like showing that she's like had her period or whatever, to be like, look, I'm sexually mature now, right? Which is like a thing, right?
I don't know if it was.
Because she grabs her hand, like her hand's got like the blood on it, and it's like to me, it's implying that's what she's doing, right? She's put her hand down there and then pulled it out, and like it's got blood on it, and she's like looking at she's like, "Hey, man, I'm good to go."
I kind of feel more. I mean, that could be either. I kind of feel she just broke her virginity instead.
That could be it. Yeah, maybe that's the It's weird. It's difficult because again, it's a lot of like implication, right? Like there's a lot of the like symbolism and implication of the show, like in general. And I've talked about this before. Like the show is very heavy on symbology and
mental states portrayed,
having to like you're kind of like interpreting it the way like like people are going to interpret it in different ways, and I think that's deliberate, right? Like what way you interpret it might be like a Rorschach test almost. Like I don't know what it says about me that I thought it was period blood, but I'm making that conclusion because there was the whole thing about like the period stuff with like the otaku and the toilet thing, right? Where like there's like the implication of them commenting on that. So I was put two and two together, but I feel like your interpretation of like she like broke her own virginity and is like showing that like that could be possibly an interpretation as well. Fucking the very uncomfortable topics on needy girl overdose, right? Very, very fucking.
Yeah, I kind of I remember in a way in the beginning I said something about a disconnect with the real and that a real world exists. We just don't see it. It kind of gets muddied with live action footage and whatever else in the show.
And I think it gets deliberately muddied with like the mental states of the characters. Like the more insane stuff gets, like the more like again it becomes hard to tell what's actually happening versus what is like happening inside the character's head, right? And so we kind of come like full circle from this, where Amy, like K Angel, kind of like she turns into like a caterpillar, and then K Angel comes out of the caterpillar and creates like a cocoon around Amy.
I kind of feel there's an interpretation here also where she says that she's just a caterpillar that just gets fatter, but never a butterfly, right?
Yeah, she doesn't metamorphosize.
Yeah, but the thing that there's smaller K angels that popping out of her, but she doesn't become a butterfly. She kind of just splits off and births weird things instead. That is not her that is becoming a butterfly, but a different thing.
And then, like I said, we kind of come full circle and we get our other girls showing up to the apartment, right? So yeah, 1 episode to go. I'm interested to see how they. Oh no, 2 episodes. It's a 13 episode. Oh, look at that. So we get 2 episodes more. Interesting to see where it goes. I'm wondering where it's going to kind of play out, because the preview for the next episode didn't really hint much.
None of them really do. I just wanted to mention kind of one thing in particular, and that is that the mom is blaming Ame for seducing the man that he's trying to rape her.
Well, we saw a little bit of that in like the other flashback scene, where Amy like beats the shit out of the mom a little bit, right? Because the mom is a piece of shit. Let's be real. The mom is a piece of shit. Like a really fucking bad character. But it's very, it's I've been saying a lot that the show can kind of feel a little bit full of itself, right? In my perspective, and it gets a little bit too kind of, I wouldn't say wacky is the right word, but it gets a little bit too, it gets a bit too surreal sometimes for its own good. And it makes it a bit confusing to kind of follow along with what's happening. I felt this episode, though, was a lot better, right, than previous episodes. Like, I didn't really get that feeling in this episode. It felt, despite being very crazy and very graphic, right, it was also very concise in what it was conveying, right? So I felt like this was a pretty decent episode of the show. And yeah, we'll see how it ends in the next 2 weeks. I guess we'll see what happens. Very, very interesting. So anyway, we got next slide.
Let's see. Next slide. Our romance shows.
Hey. Okay. Well, our otaku's school festival going on. Big. It's right now. It's big. Oh, who are they going? The rumor about if you hold hands during the fireworks show, you'll be together forever. Big romance. Ooh, which one is he? He has to pick one. Who is he gonna pick? Ooh, big woo. Meanwhile, there's another rumor that's the girl and the boy that get picked as like cutest boy and girl end up being together. Oh, he's now being like, oh, why do I feel so bad about that? Ooh, big fifis. Ooh, he cares about them both. Ooh, no. Yeah, no, it's good. It's fine. It's chugging along. I'm happy with the romance and the love triangle romancy kind of stuff. Ooh. I would say that perhaps the school festival arc, I guess, that we're on right now for the last like 3 or 4 episodes is kind of dragging a little. I figure they're spending quite a lot of time on this kind of part of the show, but it's still like, it's all right. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it, really, other than it's just all right. Which you could interpret as a good or a bad thing. Sometimes not having a lot to say about a show doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. It just means that it's like, it's pretty generic, simple, love triangle, romancy stuff, right? What's there to really kind of dig into, But anyway, how's your romancy show going? How's your big love triangles?
In some respects, like the current dynamics and misunderstandings therein, are kind of getting reinforced. The misunderstanding that our short main character and tallest boy are totally the best couple that there's ever been is kind of getting reinforced into the minds of more people, or in the same amount of people, but more strongly, which is annoying because the two people that are shipped together to be a couple both are kind of pieing for another couple dynamic, which is tall boy with tomboy girl. So, but tomboy girl is shipping small girl main character and tall boy hard. So whenever our main character said, "Oh, he is such a good friend. I feel comfortable to be around him. He's very chill." It's not to her, right? To our main character is, he's just a friend. He's not scary. Blah 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 blah. He's so chill. He would be very good for you. La la la. That's the subtext. But what the friend is hearing is, oh, you're getting along super well. You're comfortable together. You know each other very well. Time to ship even harder. He's more removed from being my love interest than before. Because I'm going to ship it.
The friend zone wall is getting stronger.
Well, yeah, her friend zone wall is getting stronger because she's shipping him with another friend, and she's not going to get away between a romance between friends. He doesn't. Also, because they are just. She's friends with both of them. She's not going to ruin a relationship for that. And even if there was an option, she doesn't feel romantic feelings for him. So it's all good for her, right? Not for him. He's kind of depressed about the fact that she likes the boy on top. The blondish girl is having some feelings for the boy on top. And is, it's all kind of complicated in that sense. But Naretsu, our main character, very sadly, is kind of feeling something about the boy on top. Which is something that I'm kind of disappointed about, because I kind of want to ship our main character with the tall boy. I am in the Tom girl's friend group that they would be a very good couple, but the show disagrees, and I now have to deal with the fact that the show says no.
Gonna have to cope and sieve.
I have to cope and sieve. But our main character is kind of getting conflicted because, it's not too long ago that she called him disgusting for prying too much in her life, in the past trauma and drama that she had to go through, and the kind of the bullying thing that she had. But she's getting comfortable. But now she's like, he is something to me, not exactly friends. So now she's been a bit avoidant, which is greatly wounding our boy on top, because he is mad crushing on her. So every time that she gets slightly does anything right, massive reactions from him. She decides to do a small prank, tap his shoulder, and then he goes from, all right, dude, get that hand off my shoulder, and then he grabs the hand, but then it's her hand, not the friend hand, male friend hand. It's her hand, and then goes, I'm touching her hand, and all that stuff. But she's totally chill about it, because no romantic feeling until like this episode. But then Naretsu, there's this new girl that is just sociable, extrovert girl, fashionable, blah 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 blah. She says, I want to date him, the boy on top. And she's perceptive, and so she's going to talk with the boy on top, and says things like, it would be kind of gross if a friend suddenly confesses. Because the boy on top is totally friend-zoned by our main character and knows it. So, oh god, no. I'm friend-zoned. Would she be uncomfortable? And then she says like 2 other things. And then she goes, oh yeah, I talked to our main character, and she doesn't see friends as potential romantic interest at all. And bam, ooh, psychic damage, all that stuff.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, psychic damage, more of a D&D thing. But to round it up, Naretsu, he is now going through his own trauma. The main character is getting avoidant of him, because she is now getting kind of weird crushy feelings, right? Doesn't know how to deal with it, so she's avoiding him. But now, because she's avoiding him, and he has had his chat with this other girl, he thinks that she's avoiding him because she is disgusted, because he dares to step out of the friend zone.
Oof.
So,
Oof.
And one small thing, not going to elaborate because it's kind of complicated enough to talk about all these characters. There may be a repeat of the bullying thing that is going to happen to the main character, where a boy likes her, she doesn't really like the boy, but another girl likes the boy, so the other girl is trying to get the boy, but then the boy likes her, and then the 2 girls are going to get in a fight, and the whole bullying thing happens, and blah 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 blah. That was happened last time, Naruto, but it's also kind of the early days of the same thing happening right now. So our main character is giving a vague warning about that, which is another complicating factor. That's the whole thing that started the bullying the previous time is now developing again. But that's all the romance, trauma, drama thing going on. Still very interested. I feel it's like at least like 2 arcs, or is the next episode already the last? Because it doesn't feel like you
it
can
must be
really
getting
wrap
close.
it off.
Alright.
Meanwhile, let's go to the other shows.
Next shows, well, I guess last shows for this episode, I guess, because I don't think there's anything else. Right, now I do want to talk about Dr. Stone, because, as you might guess, big reveals, Ali. We have big reveals.
They went to the moon.
They went to the moon, they landed on the moon, they got in the moon buggy, and then, out of nowhere, so for some reason, Senku is talking through the microphone. Hey, you need to release the Medusa right now. Release Medusa right now. Wait a minute, that's not Senku.
Oh.
Who's talking through the mic? And so that the Medusa activates on its own again, and they have to toss it away, and they manage to toss it away, and we get the big reveal, Ali. The big reveal of who Y-Man is, or more specifically, what Y-Man is.
Ooh.
Turns out, it's the Medusas. Y-Man is the Medusas. There is a giant mass of Medusas on the moon.
Since when?
Since just now. Since when? Since just now. No. So the big reveal is essentially that the Medusas are a kind of a hive mind parasitic organism that's like mechanical, right?
Yeah.
And they need the diamond batteries to survive. And this is fucking stupid. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. This is some crazy bullshit, right? Because the plan was, okay, the Medusa's plan is they hear all of the, like, radio signals coming from Earth, right? Because we're constantly pumping radio signals because we do radio stuff all the time, and that leaks into space, right? So the Medusas are like, oh, cool, intelligent life. Let's go have a look. And they have a look, and they go, oh, sick. These human things, they can create the batteries that we need, right?
Yeah.
So what do the Medusas do? They decide, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn them all into stone. Right? And what's going to happen is the ones that are the smartest or have the most brain power are going to wake up first. Right?
Right.
And then what they're going to do is they're going to realize, oh, these Medusa thingies can give you eternal life, right? Because when you're locked in stone, that means you're basically immortal.
Yes, and it heals you a little bit, stuff like that.
And it heals you, yeah, and it makes you, it basically gives you eternal life, right? And they talk about this in an earlier episode in the last season. I remember talking about how they come to this realization and they decide that, yeah, no, eternal life is gay, right? Because it is. But then the Medusas, what ends up happening is, Senku wakes up and he starts doing his sciencey stuff. And then they get to the point where they start doing the radio wave stuff, right?
Yeah.
And the GPS stuff, right? And the Medusas are like, wait a minute, why are they not, like, realizing the Medusas are eternal life, and if they keep making the batteries for the Medusas, they can have eternal life? Like, like feeding, give trade offer. You give us diamond, we give you right. We give you eternal life, right? Why are they not? Why are they rejecting the eternal life and doing all this? Why? Right?
And that's why.
And so the Medusas, yeah. So that the Medusas are asking why? Why are you not doing the thing that we want you to do? The reason this is retarded is it requires the suspension of disbelief that why didn't the Medusas just fucking communicate with humanity to begin with?
But that doesn't
Right?
also not really explain that in the period before, right? On the island where the Austrians came from, right?
Okay, so what kind of happens with this is okay, because it does kind of explain that, I just hadn't gotten to it. So they recognized that people were waking up before Senku, right? Or they recognized that humans had like somehow like because the space
that they
station,
survived.
right?
So yeah, survived the initial.
So what they did was another component to this is that oxygen is toxic to the Medusas because of oxidization, right?
Yeah.
So all of the Medusas that went to Earth to create the giant beam that froze, they all died essentially, right? They sacrificed themselves so that they could freeze humanity, right? So what they did with the people on that were like on the island, right, or whatever, was they essentially sent some more Medusas down to try and refreeze them, and then when that didn't work, they came up with the idea of, oh, what if we just like show them how to do the petrification beams themselves, and then they'll realize, oh, we can get, yeah, like the plan is back on track, right? Like, yeah, we can do eternal life stuff with this and create the batteries. But then what ended up happening was they just started using the Medusas as weapons, right? And they realized, oh, from the Medusa's perspective, man, these humans are retarded. Right?
Why are they doing these useless things like being alive?
Like what? Like why are they doing this dumb shit when they could be making batteries to keep us alive, right? So we can give them eternal life by turning them into stone, right? Again, my problem with this, I can understand how this like is like why people. I'm starting to see why people think the ending to Doctor Stone is shit. Because I remember when the manga ended and everyone was memeing, like they didn't spoil it, but they were like, "Man, this is dog shit," right? I'm starting to see the dog shit, Ellie. I'm starting to see why people were saying this is dog shit. Because again, it you're gonna tell me that the Medusas are so fucking retarded that they didn't fucking think, hey, why don't we just fucking send a message that just says trade offer? Cut diamond in Pacific Way, we give you eternal life. Right?
How was the diamond revealed in this episode? The diamond?
No, no. So what? When they were studying the Medusas last season, they figured out that the power source for the Medusas is like a diamond that's like cut in a Pacific. It has to be cut in a very Pacific way. That's very difficult to do in the stone wheel technology, right? But if you cut the diamond in a Pacific way and add it to the Medusa, it basically powers up the Medusa, right?
Right.
And the Medusas need these diamonds because the diamonds like run out of juice. They like degrade, right? So they need more diamonds, but they can't like make more diamonds because they're Medusas, right? They've tuned them, whatever alien fucking race or whatever, like it's not explained, right? Whether or not it's like alien race that turned themselves into Medusas or if they just like naturally like they were created or something, right? It's not really been explained yet. Maybe in the next 2 episodes, because it's a 13 episode run, we will get the answers. I don't know, but because the end of this episode, it's basically Senku is gonna like debate the fucking Medusas one-on-one. He's like 1v1 me, bro, right, or something, right? And I'm again, my suspension of disbelief has been shattered, right?
That's a shame.
Because I'm sorry, it's so illogical, right? Like, okay, you have this advanced, parasitic, almost like, you know, super advanced. Let's call it a race, right? Because it's like it's like a hive mind, but there are like individuals with like there's one Medusa that's like, no, we need to hear them out. The other Medusa's like, no, just turn them into stone again. And there's like there's debates happening within the Medusa, right? But like The Medusas are like this highly advanced fucking race, right? You mean to tell me they couldn't have just sent a fucking radio message? They couldn't have just said, "Hey, here you go. Here's the trade offer. Let's communicate," right? Like what? Instead, they do this whole turn everyone into stone to demonstrate how, like, the stone thing and the thing to convince the human to like we need to regress human science so that they start worshipping us or something, so they make the diamonds, but they can't make the fucking diamonds because technology has regressed to the point where it's harder to cut the diamonds in the Pacific way, right?
Do
Like
they
you
assume that
see where
humans could cut it with their hands or something? I don't know.
like this is what I mean, right? This is what I mean. Like, it doesn't fucking make sense. It really just doesn't make any logical sense for any of this, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, for a show that's like all science, right? Big science, big logic, big we're gonna make rocket ships. Here's how you actually make rocket ship, right? Go through process, right? This is like the worst possible thing to happen, right?
So
Because
I kind of feel
the,
that
the,
it's just
the big science. Okay, I'll finish and then I'll let you go. The big science logic show is being big illogical right now, and it's not good. Is where I'm getting.
Yeah. So this conversation might be best be saved for next week, but I'm going to do it here anyway. Is that I just my suspicion is that this is not a case where this solution to the ending was thought of right when the chapter was being drawn. I do feel this was kind of set up in a way before even the Y-Man transmission. I feel that this was kind of set up when they realized that this, that the partification is also somewhat beneficial. It's not harmful to life, humans, etc. per
Yeah, they
se.
realize that you can use it to like heal wounds and
So
stuff.
there wasn't a necessarily hostile intent to the stone petrification, and that is like there's some of the earlier chapters or the earlier season 1 or maybe a little bit of
Yeah,
2.
yeah.
So that is just for my perspective and context is that I believe that the Y-mans were thought of and kind of implemented way back then. So I'm not going to say that the Y-man thing was
Yeah,
just
I
thought
agree
of
with
as
you.
a
I don't think it's like a out of left field. Like, the problem isn't necessarily the like, okay, it's the Medusas, right? And the Y-Man is the Medusas, and it's like the setup and all of that kind of like all of that is fine. The part that's triggering me is just the motivation, right? Like, the motivation doesn't make sense. Like, if it was something along the lines of like, oh, it's like this parasitic race, and they showed up, and then they were like, oh fuck, these humans, they're like too advanced. If they advance, they could be a threat, right? Or something,
yeah
right? Like, there are better motivations, right? Like, let's say, like, I'm coming up with this on the fucking fly, right? But let's go with that, what I just said. Like, they show up, they're on the moon. They call the moon like the satellite, right? Because it's like a satellite planet, right?
yeah
So they describe it as the satellite. They show up on the satellite, they observe what's going on, and they're like, oh shit, these humans, they like are getting really advanced. They can travel into space, right? They could do space stuff. That's oh man, they could threaten us. Maybe they might be hostile. We don't know. We're like weird fucking fucking machine things, right?
yeah
We need to like figure out what's going on. But we're not like evil alien. Like, they're benevolent, right? And they're not hostile. They don't want to kill people, right?
yeah
So instead they're like, okay, we'll just turn them into stone and like do some like study and do some like research or whatever and figure out like, are they actually a threat or whatever? What are we, that to me is logical, right? That
So
makes
yeah,
sense.
I'm one small thing, right? Added to edit. I believe that the Medusas being on the moon and what they can do and what their motivations generally are was decided way back in the early
Yeah,
chapters, early thing.
probably. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
exact method, how and why, was developed on later on, I believe. And yeah, I kind of agree that it might have been better if the Medusa kind of were scared that the humans were going to the moon too often, and that they were
Well, not even that. Like, even if they showed up like after the moon landing, right? Like, they just show up and they just observe what's going. Because again, the reason they show up is because of the radio waves, and they think, oh shit, there's like intelligent life. We should check that out, right? So they show up and then they like establish again. Like, I think that the motivation of like, oh shit, this like these like organic life forms might be a fucking problem, right? That makes logic. Now, part of this could be like the intent was because they're alien, right? Maybe the logic isn't supposed to make sense from a human perspective, and I am looking at this from a human perspective, right? Like, perhaps that's the intent, is that it's supposed to deliberately be illogical, right? From because again, but I can't get over this idea that they just were like, yeah, you know what we're gonna do, because we need these like diamond battery things or whatever. Let's completely like turn the race of beings that can create these stones for us into stone, so they can't make the thing that we need. Right? Like, again, like, you run through the logic train and it doesn't fucking, there's like so many points where it's like, yeah, that just doesn't make fucking sense. Why would you like freeze the race of beings that could make the thing that would keep your civilized, like your own race alive, right?
So no,
Why would you
I kind of,
stop them from being able to do it?
there are enough things, right? If you just twist them a little bit, that can make sense. If you say they arrived just before, just after, like the moon landings, they were like, oh, the humans are here. Oh shit. Oh wait. Oh, they're gone. All
Oh
right, we're
shit,
good.
yeah.
Oh no, what? These radio transmissions? Oh,
Yeah,
they want to
shit.
go back. Oh no, that's too early. Let's freeze them for now. Let's just a couple million years. That's all right, right?
Yeah,
That's
just a
not
couple million
That's
years. Yeah,
just all
just a
right and not a
couple.
big deal. And then they go from la 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 la. Oh wait, all the Medusas we sent to Earth, they're gone, they're dead. Oh, this oxygen is way more toxic, way more oxygen than we expected. Oh fuck.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Uh,
oxygen do be
and then
fucking us.
it's a kind of a mix of, oh wait, we need to do something, and a kind of a somewhat alien, unknowingly incompetent, like, oh wait, there's more oxygen than we expected.
Like
Oh,
I
just a million
again,
years.
it's like you're getting at, like, there are ways you could make this work, right? There are ways that you could make this kind of reveal sort of like work logically. It just, like, the way it comes across in the show just doesn't make fucking sense, is
No,
the
they are
problem. Like, the way,
too. I feel that the problem is that they are made to be this, hyper advanced, all knowing, all
yeah,
powerful thing. When you
and yet
could
they're
make them,
fucking retarded. And
but if you just make them not unknowable, but just
yeah,
very um not concerned, just like giving lack their human perspective by, oh,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
just a million years, we are
Yeah.
going
Like,
through
I mean, because
space.
we can survive off like the gems for like billions, of, like millions of years too. We still need the gems or whatever, right? But
Yeah,
we could, what's a few like, and they're trying to like show to humanity, hey, being like frozen in stone is actually pretty fucking chill. It's pretty cool. It's cool.
yeah,
You're
that's
immortal.
how
It's
we go
great.
through space
That's
and
how
all
we
that
do it. Yeah,
stuff.
that's how we do it. It's pretty cool. It's awesome. Why the fuck are you rejecting that? You dumb fucks. Why you gotta be doing this?
Hmm. But anyway, that's
what's
enough
going
about
on?
Dr. Stone. I'll hear what the
Yeah,
deeper
yeah, yeah, yeah,
reasoning in the
yeah, yeah,
debate
yeah.
that in next week.
Yeah, because we got, like I said, we got 2 episodes left, so we
Oh,
will
two even, right.
Yes, it's a 13 episoder. So I guess
All
we're
right,
gonna
that's
get
a
like the debate. I guess we're gonna get like the debate, and then we're going to get like the epilogue finale thing in like episode 13. So that's
talk
that's what
about
I'm
your two
thinking.
shows, and then we'll end on the Shadow Demons, the Demons of the Shadow.
Okay, so Beat Break. Yeah, they had like the big reveal about like this girl who's like the leader of the thingamabob, and whatnot. Yeah, it's fine, I guess. Continuing, keep watching. Don't really need to say a lot about it. It's all right. A lot happening in our Barbarian show though. So they go to the dwarves.
Yeah.
And the dwarves are very dwarvy, Ellie. They are very dwarvy. They have big underground city that's very advanced, big technology, machine guns. Very,
Skaven.
very,
All right.
yeah. They go to the hot springs, and funny,
Nudity
lewd,
suits.
mixed bathing nude. Well, you don't see the nude because again, like I think it's TV regulation on this Pacifica shit. It's not like censored, but it's animated as to not show anything, right? So it's fine. Yeah. There's some hilarity. The food's really good. They're having a good time. The dwarves get really, really fucking turned on by like the chick's armor because it's like, oh, it's armor from the West. It's different. Oh, they do it this way. Oh wow, that's cool. Literally fucking
this
getting
blade is
turned on.
This blade is folded 1,000 times. So cool.
Yeah. Literally getting wet over it. Because we get like there's a female dwarf that we were introduced to who's going to be like the dwarf representative. For the show. And so we have like some of that, and then the most recent episode we get her new helmet, which is kind of funny. The new helmet is like these like rabbit ears, like she puts these like ears on, right? Like they look like maybe not full rabbit ears, but kind of like dog wolf looking ears, right? And they like twitch around because they're controlled by like the willpower thing. That's like the magic willpower system. And so all she has to do is like think about big battle to activate helmet, and it like transforms into like this big helmety type thing, right? But while she's got it on, she's got like these like rabbit ear looking things. And you kind of see them in one of the visuals. There's like these like rabbit ear looking things in one of the like preview visuals. That's the new helmet. So I guess she's just gonna have like little fox ears for the rest of the fucking show. It's very cute. But we get a big reveal that so the dwarves are worshipping, or like maybe not worshipping is the right word, but they're studying like all of this old technology that they found because they found this mountain, right? And in the mountain is this giant forge, and in the giant forge there's fucking mech suits. There's fucking mechs and jet fighters and all of this like crazy modern tech sci-fi shit. And the dwarves are like, we have no fucking idea how any of this works, but it's cool as shit and we fucking love it. Right? So they're they're spending generations upon generations like trying to figure out what the fuck like this mech suit, and like the mech suit is like they're like, yeah, like it's super cool, and like sometimes it almost feels like it's looking at you, and the mech suit's eye like fucking looks like it's like we haven't been able to turn it on, but yeah, it's cool, right? And then it's like, yeah, there's more going on here, right? there's some fucking like I like the world building in this show a little bit. There's some like very interesting kind of stuff going on with the world building of the show. So the kind of ending of the episode, because I think we get one episode left, is the fire dragon that like kind of assaulted them on the way there has been like just hanging around waiting for them to get the fuck out the mountain because it wants to fight. So we're gonna have a big fight with a fire dragon, and that's probably gonna be like the ending to the show. But yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It's fun. It's fun times. Like I'm kind of skipping over all of the usual like, oh,
nudity,
comedy,
nakedness, married.
yeah, the comedy of the like priest girl freaking the fuck out over like all of this like weird like tech stuff and like how advanced it is compared to the West and all the oh man, they could like fucking annihilate us and stuff, right? Like there's a lot of like repeatable gags that I don't feel like I need to kind of rehash, right? But it is, it's definitely like, my worry early on was that it was going to be like the same thing over and over. And I'm happy to say that it has kind of introduced enough interesting new stuff to kind of like, make it interesting, instead of being the same stuff over and over. So yeah, it's good. It's fun. Gonna keep watching it. Well, obviously I'm gonna watch the end of it, right? Gonna keep finish it off. Hopefully get to second season because it is pretty entertaining. Oh no, drop it on the last episode, yeah.
What was it? Guilty... What was it?
I don't remember.
Well, no, there was this one show in which the joke was that this episode's so bad, I'm dropping it. And then the joke was that it was going to set... this was said about every episode. So even the last episode, like terrible
so
episode.
Anywho, demons.
Yes,
our demons. We got some interesting reveals in demons. I'm just taking a bit of a break because I've been talking a little bit.
All right, so the long armed and the long legged are get defeated by a trick. That was last episode.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Basically, but they were kind of hesitant to attack the house. Why? Because the master is sleeping under it, and
hiding under it.
Hiding under it. Oh yeah, sleeping. Yeah. Wrong word. He was just laying down.
Yeah.
Sleeping. And then the kid crawls out of it with a suspicious one bit of white hair from his fore, as a cowlick from his forehead. Hey, there's this guy that in our team, which is also has some white...
Daedra, or however you call it, yeah.
Daedra. And
Daedra.
Wait, why does he have the same name?
So it turns out this is the brother.
Yes.
Because the dad was off doing some hanky panky off in Africa or something. Because he's like brown, right?
It's like an Ethiopian or...
I think it's Ethiopia. Yeah, he's like the mom is like Ethiopian. And so the kid's looking for the dad, right? And what lots of hilarity kind of ensues from this.
And we get some minor thing about that this house, this pocket dimension that they're in, belongs to the father, and in fact it still belongs to the father and has not been passed down. Means that the father is alive somewhere. But in the meantime, the child, the brother-in-law had no demons to protect himself, so he freed some scary demons, the long arms,
and then the demons basically took control of the show.
Yeah, just kind of forced him to go along with their murderous rampage
type stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, then that was kind of most of the episode, this whole introduction arc. But the most...
Yeah, we're kind of in we're having a bit of a down low episode where we kind of like, okay, we get a bit of like
big action and...
Yeah, big action, and now we get like a little bit of the it turns out that the dad has been still giving the like brother-in-law money, so he's like rich. And so the Hannah is like, you can stay with us as long as you
all that compound interest over the years.
Yeah, a lot of very, very rich. And there's a good little bit of a bonding moment between you and brother-in-law because like they're both looking for their parents and they both hope that they find their parents, right? So there's like some bonding that happens there a little bit. Yu is also very much amazed by the fact that hot water baths are a thing. Wow, water! So, wow, water. Water is like supposed to be rare, but it's everywhere. Wow.
Yeah.
So we're getting a little bit of that. I did also enjoy the whole like Dara is like, going to the whorehouse and gambling. Being the husband, because Hannah's like, you're supposed to be the husband, but you're out like going to the whorehouse and gambling. But they're just like, I never went to the whorehouse, but I did gamble.
It was just for
we did do
education.
Yeah, we did do gambling, but we didn't do the. Very good. Yeah, it was very good. Very good. I like the humor.
I also, her name is like Hannah. I very much think Hannah is a good character. She's
fun. She's fun. Yeah.
Fun introduction from I am Happy Hannah, but then I was forced to get married, and now I have an illicit son and property taxes and whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's like, wait, the dad owns like the fucking a demon that's like a house. Oh shit, do we have to pay property taxes on the demon?
She would know. She owns a mountain. Probably she pays taxes on that.
It's good. So I do like how the
one more thing. It's a kind of a thing that I could get bothered by sometimes, and this whole killing intent thing, right? So I can feel your killing intent. You cannot hide your killing intent. But what if, like Hannah shows, what if you just grapple him in a bind real hard?
I could kill you right now.
I could change my mind in a second and kill you.
Yeah. You can't. Don't go relying on that all the time. Maybe not a good idea.
Because somebody could stand behind you and decide to kill you afterwards.
Yeah. Very, very good. I like how the show is also not afraid, because obviously we had like the two other people tailing that got killed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely like, it's not afraid of just like murking people, right? And sort of no one is really safe, it feels like, right? In a sense, maybe the main cast is a little bit safe, but it feels like they're not shying away from, doing the violence, right? Doing the big violence. It's it's good. It's very, very good. I'm very much enjoying it. Next week, apparently, we're not getting an episode next week, allegedly. Because it's going to be a rebroadcast of episode 1, but we'll see. Perhaps maybe like the streaming services will still show the next episode, even though it's on the TV. It's different. Like, who knows? I don't know. We'll find out. But no, it's good. Gonna continue it. It's fun. Good times. So, I think that just about does it. Is there anything else we need to go over?
One last neat thing I thought is that the ED, don't like the ED all that much. I think the OP is pretty good.
It's fine. It's serviceable.
I do like when Hannah is doing like home fitness, home weird, home exercises when she's just looking on the phone in the house, like a very homely, regular thing to do. I think this is a good scene. It's also well animated, especially when the dog is mimicking the action. Just a fun scene in the larger ED.
So anywho, it's been a fun episode. We will also next week we'll be doing seasonal review next week. So look forward to that. It'll be fun. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Later.
Bye.